Alrighty, and good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Track Limits Racing. I am Fennicini, back from my excursion to the convention scene. With me, as always, is one Phil and one Logan. Good evening, fellas. How are we doing?
What is up, everyone? How you doing?
Doing pretty well.
We are back after our summer break for round number 4, the mid-season point, actually, of the season.
Ooh.
Bruno Clemente getting clocked by a GT4 as they're going around turn number 1. Last few minutes of practice underway at the moment. We'll get into qualifying here in a moment and talk about some championship standings to round it all off as we get into round number 4. Our mid-season special tonight, 20 minutes of regular heat racing, followed by 2 hours of non-stop GT4, LMP3, GT3 action. Are we excited? Thoughts?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm ready to do this. Road America always delivers.
That it certainly does. It's one of my favorite tracks, both from the special event that happens here, as well as just generally. I think it's one of my favorite cars to rip around, or one of my favorite tracks to rip around in any car.
It does appear that we have people mixing it up on the exit of turn 1 going into turn 2 on a pretty consistent basis. So I'm thinking with the multi-class action around here, we're going to see some spicy moments.
That we are. Limited fuel as well. Nothing big in the change from previous weeks this season. People are honking outside my house. Let's pull up our race graphics, see what the practice times look like before we dive into our championship standings. 158, just under 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's not looking nearly as tight as what we were seeing in rounds 2 or 3 in the LMP3 field. GT4 Ethan with the half-second gap on Retro Coffin right now is not too surprising. Ethan's been setting some blistering times during this free practice session. And then we've got Stephen Wallace on top, 4/10 up on Tyler Torville, which is kind of surprising. Tyler was pretty close when it comes to single lap pace. And then William Lewis in the lead of GT4 AM with Christopher Blue lagging behind by 4/10.
Logan, I think you've driven the GT4 around here most recently out of all of us. What should GT4 drivers and as well as GT3 drivers to a lesser extent, be expecting from LMP3s and GT3s going around this track?
LMP3s, they're going to try to pass in the carousel and at the kink. And either way, it's going to be hairy every time.
So it'll be...
This track... Go ahead, sir.
I think it'll be an awkward one in some spaces, especially with the GT3s being added into the mix, and this only 2 seconds, more or less, 4 seconds of pace differential from our leaders of each class, respectively, versus the 10-second jump from the GT3s to the GT4s.
So it's a pretty big delta in the sports car class. Prototypes running relatively close to GT3s. It's going to be kind of hairy when we get into some of the low-speed corners, but I think everybody's going to keep their head on the swivel. It'll be fine. The thing I'm actually looking forward to is I'm looking forward to seeing how everything's going to work out when we get into that feature race and we start looking at those pit stops. I think that's going to be, strategy around a track like this with really not a lot of room to pass. I think you're going to have to play it. You're going to have to play it smart on strategy. Do your passing in the pits.
Right.
Absolutely. I think that'll be, big key to that is the pit lane, as well as pit stops, how they get managed, and the amount of fuel saving that can be done. 2 hours, so not our usual 90 minutes, 70 minutes, feature. So an extra 50 minutes of racing for this mid-season special. All in the feature race, too. No split for any more heat race time.
Yeah, it's so that with the heat race kind of establishing what we're going to get into when we get to the 2 hour, I think like qualifying is going to be a big deal for getting set up into the heat race, but I really feel like you got to finish strong in the heat race for this one because you want to be closer to the front end of the grid before you get around to the lapping the slower classes the first time. I think it's going to be a big deal. And then, of course, again, it's just going to come down to like making sure that you got your head on straight when it comes to strategy. Don't goof it up. Don't spend too much time in the pits because you're not going to win the race in there.
That you are not. Logan, what else do you have?
I have no idea. Sorry. I'm just trying to get my head on here. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
You're good. You're good, man.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to say, Finn, so you're back with us after being away during Sao Paulo, getting to come here for Road America, like you were saying before, the special events here, a lot of fun. Experience with multi-class racing outside of the special event in Road America, any?
A fair amount, but it's more the IMSA split. You know, have the LMP or GTPs, LMP2s, and GT3s. A little bit faster overall. Same kind of split though between the GTPs and LMP2s. You know, the more of a gap there than I think the 4 seconds we see between the class leaders of LMP3 and GT3. But kind of that similar split. It's super awkward when you're an LMP in my reference of the GTPs trying to catch both an LMP2 who's trying to pass the GT3 in the carousel, and there's no good way to get around both of them. So you just kind of have to ride behind the LMP2, wait for him to get done, then make your own pass. I think we'll see a good handful of that as the LMP3s try to pass GT4s and GT3s.
Yeah.
So back when we had two classes, it was a lot more one-to-one translation because the Audi 90s and Nissan ZXTs of IMSA Vintage, or Camel GT as it used to be called, that got used for the Road America 500, were very much the same kind of pace differential as the LMP3s and GT4s are in terms of both how they created their speed and where they could pass each other safely.
Yeah, and passing around here, safety is going to be really tricky. I'm really interested to see, especially when we get into Sector 3, once we get to Canada Corner, like what are some of the faster class cars going to be doing when they get stuck behind a train of GT4s that are fighting for position. It's going to be a feels bad moment in terms of like losing time, but I really wonder if taking a risk trying to thread through traffic, especially after you get out of the exit of Canada Corner, could lead to wrecking not only your race, but a bunch of other people's. So might need to
Certainly
maintain patience.
Well, as practice winds down to a close, we want to take a look at our championship standings as they are when we got done with Sao Paulo about a month ago at this point, and see what our points totals are looking like going into this, how the championship standings are. We are, I think, going to see drop rounds applied at the end of next race, which is just next weekend. So we have another, after a set of double headers, we go into another double header. So, but starting out with LMP3, I will kick us off here. Jaden Ledbetter leading the points here, 132, only 1 point behind Michael Lively, or 1 point ahead of Michael Lively, who is in second with 131. Bit of a jump back from there to Scott Fleming at 120, and Mac Coyne, last race's winner in LMP3, had 116, so a good points haul for him. Mike Bowen at 107, Vince LaRue 82, Paul Milo, Chris Turner, Jack Wilkins, Gian Cardoso, as well as Brandon Vincent Squibb, are all 11 drivers here that have scored points. We have a few new faces I think we're seeing tonight in the grid for the LMP3s that we'll see on this leaderboard next week when we go to Navarra. Phil, how are the GT3 drivers looking for this championship standing and this run to the top of that points finish?
Oh, yeah. So in GT3 right now, Gab Chavez is kind of on a tear at the moment, 144 points after Sao Paulo. When it comes to participation in GT3 category, it does look like there are, I believe, 4 or 5 that are currently sitting on three race point scoring or 3 race point totals. Mm-hmm. So it definitely does look like participation is kind of setting the stage for the top 4, top 5. But Gab with the top spot. Oh, there it is. And then Tommy Kogan with 127. So not far behind. So Tommy Kogan still could potentially give Gab a run for his money. We got Kyle Potter in third, Retro Coffin in fourth. Well, they're tied at 120. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they can try and who's going to be fighting for the third step on the podium in GT3 with Sean Sullivan with 105, not far outside of the top three. And then we've got Ethan Hamlet, who has, I believe, Ethan was a scratch for Sao Paulo, currently sitting at 96 points. Brandon Potts with 73, Bruno Clemente with 70, then Anthony Newman with 69, and Kerry Nolan Jr. with 69 points.
I
think that might actually be it.
Yes, I believe that is all of our drivers that have scored points here in GT3. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, we have 3 more.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. So after that, we got Nick Alvarado with 55. Austin Green, Steve McLean, yet to score points with us. But again, we've got those individuals and some other new faces that we're probably going to have some points totals for next week. So
yes,
that should be your GT3 field.
Fantastic. I think one thing is going to be the most interesting for us is as the drop week gets applied, how much this order will shuffle. As most of the important front runners there, the 4 and 5 that we've talked about, as well as I believe, Brandon Potts and a few others, I think will have their point totals, I think, match more of the front runners as they apply drop weeks, which will hit them the most. So, but with that, let's drive over to GT4 Pro and GT4 AM so we can get this cranking and underway before the start of qualifying here. So Logan, hopefully I can get this to do the thing. Oh, it just fully doesn't want to disappear with that. That's why that's doing that. Okay, let's just hit the reload button.
All right. So in first place, we have Tanner Schiffner at 150 points in the pro category, followed by Henry Garcia with 137 points. Tyler Torville at 135, Lee Wu at 117, Nathaniel Redmond at 80, Matt Pyle at 68, David Colson is in 7th, Ryan Buchanan in 8th, Dan Wizak in 9th, Stephen Wallace in 10th, Mike Gallant in 11th, Tyler Roberts in 12th, Zach Fisher in 13th, Kieran Davidson in 14th, and Corey Lobner rounding up the top of the GT4 class.
Yeah. Interesting.
GT4
I think
class.
Battles between Henry Garcia and Tyler Torville this week will be an interesting one to see if Tyler Torville can get that leading edge in the points, just so that way he has a better drop week to fall back on.
Yeah, those two have been nose to tail in numerous races already.
There's Tyler Torville. There's Henry Garcia.
We're gonna be seeing, I think, that probably again here at Road America, so it'll be fun.
Absolutely. I say another tight battle. Those Retro Coffin and Kyle Potter and GT3 I think will be one to watch, but we'll have to see how it all shakes down. Last but certainly not least, my favorite class to talk about I think in this series still, Christopher Blue heading out GT4 AM with 92 points to Eduardo Zamora's 87. Oscar Brown, there's just like a nice 5-point gap between all three of these drives on the top of the podium here. Oscar Brown with 82 points. So we'll see how I think this will be another one with more tumultuous drop week applications and how that'll settle out the field a little bit more. William Lewis in 76. Jameson Leckenbecky in 69. That is where he is now, I believe, after the move from LMP3 to GT4 AM. And John Newman with 64, Todd Tourville with 61, Mark Robeson, Rodrigo Souza, Dave Lively, and I believe we got a couple more, Carlos Guzman and David Schneider, rounding out the 12 drivers that have scored points here in the GT4 AM category. Big battles to watch in this category that I missed from last week that I think will be continuing this week.
I mean, the thing is that it does look like when it comes to single lap pace, like Christopher Blue is going to have a run for his money. Right now, William Lewis has been really pretty quick in GT4, but again, the thing that has been kind of working for Christopher Blue pretty much all season is the consistency, just delivering lap after lap, not trying to reduce his mistakes as much as possible. Other battles, I'm really interested to see kind of like how things work out with John Newman and Todd Torville. Those two have been racing relatively close to one another. They were racing relatively close to one another at Sao Paulo. It was Sao Paulo was a pretty hectic race, specifically for GT4s in general. So I'm kind of hoping that they have a little bit calmer show this weekend, and that the on-track action remains on the track. So, but we'll see how it all shakes out.
Certainly, I think between all these other battles we have going on, any other ones I think we miss in this championship rundown of where everyone's at? I think we got most of them.
Yeah, I think we got most of them. I'm mostly just ready to get into qualifying here, because I think, again, like we were talking about at the start of the show, I think qualifying is going to be where it's at in terms of having something that like really matters and sets you up for the heat race. I think it's going to be about being at the front end of the field as much as you can possibly muster between both the heat and feature race.
Absolutely.
We
I think
have
if
some
we had
GT4s on the track. Oh, nope. Steven and Corey are just in pit. Sorry.
Yeah, we got a few drivers in pit lanes. I think we just have they're wrapping up the last bit of GT4 drivers briefing. So that way we will again get into qualifying with the GT4s. That's where that thought was going, and then I just jumped the gun. Which should be here in a moment.
Real quick, before we switch into qualifying, can we pull up the racing information
Certainly,
because I'm curious about those temperatures. Yeah, 19C on track. That's not going to be too terrible. 81% humidity with partly cloudy skies. So I think it's going to be one where the drivers can't really complain about tire deg too much.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that'll be a huge thing to worry about for this one. As I see GT4s lighting up the pit lane, working their way out. And I think we'll be set to go racing here in just a moment in terms of qualifying. But yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. The degradation, not the biggest concern. I think unless they overheat the tires in all the battling, I think they will have a pretty solid attempt at that.
Looks like Corey running a new livery this week, the 41 Barely Pro Aston Martin. I love it when the liveries are clever. Like that's like one of the things.
Yeah.
One of the things that makes my heart sing in sim racing.
Love it as well. We'll get a chance to go, I think, on board with Corey, who is back from a pretty long hiatus due to work things. We'd love to see drivers come back to the grid. Corey Lobner is one of those individuals who's also on Twitch streams pretty regularly, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. You should definitely always go check out the folks that are racing in our league on their Twitch streams.
Mm-hmm. And work is overrated. I suggest not doing it from the Twitch chat. I believe that's super, super valid, but unfortunately it also gives us money so that way we can do our hobbies. So it's a hard trade-off.
Yep. And Chris, and I believe the reason Chris is posting that message because he could not be here today because he has a new work schedule.
That
puts him in the vehicle, in a vehicle in real life.
Wow.
When he could be racing virtual cars, and then I'm not going to comment on the whole "yep wank" comment, but I don't know where we're going with that. I'm gonna pump the brakes on that for a moment. But yeah, so he drives trucks in real life.
Ooh.
So this man is an actual, like everybody else can say, man, I'm a professional driver. Chris is actually a professional driver, so y'all can just kind of like back up.
Whack. Okay. BS.
Yeah.
Back. That's the way that was going. Logan, do you want to talk us through a lap of the GT4 driving around Road America here?
How so? Because I'm pretty confused by that right now.
Oh, just lead us through a lap. How does it drive? Braking markers here.
Where Corey's turning in right now, the 150 is about where you want to brake for turn 3. Coming up the hill into turn 5, you're going to want to brake around the 3, between the 3 and the 4 board for that. Please? Yep.
He's going deep.
Yeah.
Wait,
What's it like coming out of this low speed corner right here? This looks pretty hairy.
Yeah, pray that your tires grip. Brake around at the bridge, coming through, and here you can just give a little lift and a little tap of the brakes, get that rotation in. And then about the 250 for this turn here. I don't have the turn names memorized other than Carousel and the Kink.
All good.
Coming through the carousel. Play with the throttle a lot as you're coming through. And then hopefully you can get flat out to Canada. If not, you got to just lift a little bit. And then you're going to be looking at about the 400 board.
Yeah, GT4s, I have a little bit more lifting and coasting to do in some of these areas because they have less downforce. Is that correct?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Hard on the brakes, into the turn, and can take this next turn flat out, but a little lift here would be fine. And then as soon as you get straightened up, hard on the brakes, and turn into the last turn.
Oh, you can hear the tires squeal as that car wants to slide on Corey, but he gets that car going the right direction.
Corey Lobner, man's making the jump to pro from what Jaden's saying in chat.
Yeah, he was in GT4M last time. So that's the first time on the board, 215.661. Fantastic lap guide there from Logan on a lap with the GT4s. So, see more times coming in. Jameson Leichenbecky and Matt Pyle, all GT4 Pro drivers. Tanner Schiffner, all of them about half a second to a second until Tyler Torville comes in to dethrone that.
Yep. We got Tyler posting in some pretty quick times. William Lewis, purple currently is in sectors 1, 2, and 4. Ooh. And he's going to go to the top of GT4 AM with a 2:16.9.
Stephen Wallace also getting into setting the exact same time. I think there's down to like the 2,000th faster for Stephen Wallace than Corey Lobner. So a fantastic run for him as well. Henry Garcia starting his first flying lap, if I am looking at my timing sheet correctly, as well as a few other drivers. Oh, and he is in the barrier hard.
That is such a slam, and he's gonna go back to the pits quickly. Probably a wise call. Try and get reset to get back out on track and try and post a decent time. Right now, Dave Schneider in the 5.2. Chris saying that the AMGs are going to eat well here at Road America.
It's just so much power in those AMGs.
Yeah,
they're good with the long, fast bits, not the tight, twisty bits.
Yeah, they really celebrate how much that car plants into the ground to get that car moving forward.
So looking at the times right now, Corey Lobner, the only one posting best sector times currently in sector 5, sitting third again, like you were saying. Oh, it looks like he just leapfrogged Steve Wallace with a 2:15.628 to go 1.5 tenths over Stephen Wallace's previous time.
1.5 hundredths. Sorry, 3 hundredths. It's going to be that one as.
Oh yeah, no, I see it now. I was looking
Tanner
at
Schiffner is splitting the difference between him and Tyler Torville, 4 hundredths faster than Corey Lobner.
Now, see, this is exactly what was starting to happen at Sao Paulo. Like the margins between the cars at Sao Paulo after qualifying were barely noticeable. It was a very tight field. To be honest, it's kind of been tight pretty much this whole season. The classes themselves are they feel pretty evenly stacked. But yeah, it's been very interesting to see how close these guys have been racing one another.
Yeah, it seems like the competition has only gotten fiercer in the week off that I had from last time I saw these drivers more properly a month ago. Mark Robeson resetting the fastest time there with a 216.654 in GT4M and a 215. See what if anybody else has set faster times. David Schneider has 3 green sectors, but I think he had an off track earlier on in this lap, so he'll still be trying to find a complete lap to get on a time on the board. Same with Lee Wu. Chris Blue putting in his first time of a 217.38, a little bit down the ways for Christopher Blue, versus what I was kind of expecting, but we still have a few minutes left for GT4 Pro qualifying.
This is his first lap as well. He's probably on cold tires and nursing it.
That is, get one in the bank, as they say.
Right.
I mean, Lee Wu looks like he was. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when he was going through the kink, or like right there, man, he is chucking the car.
Yeah, he is throwing it in and waiting for it to stick, which is a way to drive the Porsche, because it is
running
one of the,
zero wing, maybe.
Yeah.
Corey Lobner with a 215.334 to go to the top.
Gosh, yes.
Yep. Looks like we got ourselves some spice in GT4 Pro.
Absolutely. Lee Wu not getting that lap qualifying. I don't know if that was his out lap or if he got an off track there somewhere. It looks like he probably did. Stephen Wallace purple in the middle sectors for this next lap that he's driving.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. Yeah, if he converts this, he might be going to the top.
Yeah, he had 2 orange sectors to start out the lap, 2 green sectors to end the lap. And he sets himself 3/10 ahead of Corey Lobner with a 214.97.
Yep.
Oh.
So, yeah, we've definitely got some pace out here on track. Eduardo Zamora, top of the timesheets in GT4 AM, 216.374. And
Leckenbecky is listed in pro for me. Weird.
He is listed in pro for me as well.
Interesting. I moved him incorrectly then. Jamison Leckenbecky. Go back to AM. You got AM. You got AM boards on you. Wait for it to reset here. We're getting done with GT4 qualifying, and we'll be heading up to GT3 qualifying here in a moment. A lot of the cars sitting in pit lane. You can see that trail of them from Ethan Hamlet, Retrocroffin, as well as Henry Garcia, who did not set a qualifying time. Bruno Clemente also in there.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to navigate. But now they're going to have to work on being consistent inside that heat race so they can try and set themselves up with a good position for the feature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Matthew Pyle, one of the many drivers trying to get a better time in. 2 green sectors in the middle, but 2 orange sectors before it, and 1 after. We'll see where that finishes, and he's going to abandon in the pit lane to not finish that lap. Jamison Leckenbecky, I think, joining him going in as well. Tyler Torville, I think we got in laps for most of these drivers. As out laps come for the GT3 drivers. Tommy Kogan, I think we see a couple of driver shifts as well. Ethan Hamlet, who did not go out last week to Interlagos, correct? Before the break.
Yeah, I believe he was a scratch for Interlagos.
He has come back in a Corvette. So
he was in NSX before Interlagos.
Yeah, that Acura NSX, and has moved over to the Corvette. I think he's finding that a lot more fun after the update to the tires.
It is a lot more fun since the update to the tires. I liked the Corvette to begin with, and now it's back to being a great car.
Last movers for GT4M real quick as we're watching on some outlaps. Christopher Blue going a 10th behind Jamison Leckenbecky for GT4M, getting a better second lap there, and then immediately diving into pit lane to not be in the way of these GT3 drivers as they're doing their outlaps. What car haven't we, what manufacturer haven't we ridden on board with this season for a GT3 lap around the track?
Has it been BMW?
I don't know. Have we done a BMW? It's been. Let's do
Oh yeah, an M4. Heck
it.
yeah.
Well, we're right along. I'd say, Phil, do you want to take us through a lap when Anthony gets down to the start-finish stretch?
Absolutely, and we'll do that. And because I'm doing the ride along, Anthony, don't worry about it. If you mess up the lap, it's just the broadcaster curse. Just settle down; it'll be okay. Just relax into it. Just relax into it. Okay.
We got a couple more corners here, and then we'll dive in.
Yep.
With them.
And the M4 is my favorite GT3 to drive in iRacing, so I am perfectly fine with this piece of machinery.
I will pick your brain with it when we come back from the lap because I'm curious as to why that is, but I will hold that thought as we are coming around the final corner here towards the start-finish stretch.
Excellent. So he's blasting out of turn 13, final corner, going up the hill under the NTT banner to start a lap here at Road America. All right, so he's going to get, he's on fast approach, kind of like fast to medium speed right-hander. He's going to hit the brakes at the 3 cones. And then he's going to try and use all the track on corner exit, hitting that the rumble strips on corner exit through not turn 2. It's not a turn. I don't believe you. And then into turn 3 here, again, using the rumble strips on the corner exit, trying to take the straightest line possible as he exits turn 3 through turn 4, which isn't a turn. And then we're going to go blasting downhill here. He's going to hit around the 3 board, going to start easing into the brakes. Try not to lock up. It's really easy to do in this downhill section. You unload the rears, and it's really easy for those to lock up using all of the corner exit. And again, underneath the Corvette banner. This one right here, sometimes you got to tiptoe through the corner. Very easy to lose the rear, especially when you crest the hill. And a small lift as he goes through this right-hand section. Now, downhill towards turn 8. This corner is going to be absolutely fun to watch when we start seeing GT3s and GT4s work through traffic together. Into the carousel, the longest right-hand corner on Earth. You can feel the passage of time. Now he's exiting. Again, we've been watching people go through the kink all day. Is he going to be fully committed?
Oh,
he's fully
commits.
committed. Oh, what a wiggle.
But he holds on to it.
Yep, he hangs on to it. Now we're getting set up for the entry into Canada corner. On the brakes at the 3 board. He's going to clip the inside, push all the way out. Touch of the grass. Maybe he's triggered an off track there. We'll have to find out. Feathering the throttle as he goes through the chicane here. On the brakes when the tarmac changes into the final corner. Slides all the way to the right. Pushes out all the way to the left. Full beans as he goes up the hill. We're going to see what he gets when he comes across the line. And Anthony Newman did not die. I just want everyone to say that at being an admin of this of one of the of this fine community or a broadcaster, I did not result in the death of anyone on track. For the record,
That is very much the case. But a lap done with the GT3s. Big difference there, obviously being the speed differences in those nice long straight line speeds. A little bit faster with a little bit more downforce, not as much as we'll see when we go over those LMP3s. We'll see a big difference in a lot of those high-speed corners, such as the carousel, which we talk about the passage of time. But when you're in LMP3, it's pretty short.
yeah, it's gonna be pretty quick with the LMP3s, and they're gonna just carry so much more speed in some of the medium and high-speed corners relative to the GT3s. It's gonna be fun watching how these cars navigate the carousel. It's going to be, especially if you got GT4s fighting for positions and stuff, it's going to look like an afternoon traffic jam. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So, back to the question that I had before we took the onboard ride. BMW M4 GT3. Your favorite GT3? Why?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, I mean, it's a BMW. It's the ultimate driving machine. And what that translates to when I'm behind the wheel of it, it's got driver aids. So that smooth brain can get around track, not put car in wall.
That's very good. You know that's the standard across all the GT3s, though, right?
Yes, but the thing is, though, I'm a big fan of the driver aid systems in the BMW because, to me, in comparison to other cars, they actually feel like they work. They actually feel like like ABS, I can actually like toggle it in directions up and down, and I can actually start to feel when the tires are going to give under braking. Same deal with the traction control on corner exit. It's not like the LMP3, like when you're coming out of corner exit, and you put your throttle down, and it sounds like a clothes washer going off behind you.
Like an unbalanced.
Yeah, an unbalanced one. I mean, it's just it's a different kind of a car for me, and I can feel the difference.
Fantastic. I was curious. I had to know. My personal favorite, I think, has to be the Corvette here that we're following along, looking at Ethan Hamlet, who has set the fastest lap time, 2:02.48, whole second and a half faster than Bruno Clemente, who's currently sitting in second, and the rest of the field right behind him. A driver I don't see on track tonight, Kyle Potter. So that battle for P3 in the championship is going to get a little bit more spicy, or a little bit differently spicy, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm just going to throw this out here as a question. Ethan Hamlet was not at Sao Paulo. Anyone wondering if he was just like practicing in the Corvette on the new tire model instead of racing at Sao Paulo? I don't know. I'm just joking. But anyway, Ethan setting 1.4 second gap to P2. That is, that's something else.
Yeah, I think the usual Ethan Hamlet dominance has returned. It has a little wide on exit there. 3 purple sectors, but we'll see if that translates to an even faster lap. The rest of the field separated by hundredths and tenths. So I think we still have a very competitive field throughout the rest of this. And he opens that gap up by another 5 hundredths to 1.47 and then loses it on turn number 1. The car giveth, the car taketh away. Retro Coffin trying to close that gap, dethroning Bruno Clemente as P2. Austin Green currently in 4th. And then from Austin Green down to, I believe it's Tommy Kogan, all 4 of these drivers are within a tenth, or they were.
Yeah.
Anthony Newman, now that we're not watching him anymore, has time to get a good lap in. And he dives in, sets in a 2:03.97, jumping all of these drivers, closing that gap a little bit more. And
what are you trying to say?
I wasn't trying to say
anything. Trying to say he's not going to produce when I'm watching?
Not at all. But I will, however, point out LMP3s are diving onto the track as the GT3s finish their final runs around to the start-finish stretch. Anthony Hutchinson set a 2:04.41. Green in all of these sectors up until this point. We'll see whether or not he can also ultimately capitalize and turn that into a good lap. I'd have to imagine so. Smooth exit. One thing I really love about the Porsche, I think it's even more so on the new tire models, it looks the most stable out of any of these cars.
They made it.
I'm going to check back in with you during the race on that. About it.
Sure, certainly. But meanwhile, Porsche is in P2, P3, P5, and P6 of the GT3s.
Yeah.
So.
It is half the field. Confirmed.
Yep.
That said, I mean, it is good to see people getting to produce with the Porsche. I think that's a good thing. It's a fun car.
Ridden on board with Jack Wilkins this season, so let's do that. Yeah. Now, for last and final, because we've done them for the other 2 classes, we'll do one for the LMP3 as well. And I'm going to take this one because we haven't done one yet. So, there we go. Hard on the throttle all the way up until turn number 1. You brake a little bit later here, kind of in between the 3 and the 1 cone. It's a little bit of a brake, and then the coast, a lift, an acceleration, straight down into turn number 3, braking at the 1 board once again, hard on the brakes. A lot of good passing opportunities, especially as these tires heat and cool down. And then we'll see him run underneath that Sargento cheese sign, the bridge, with that lovely truck sitting on there. Much similar to the GT3s, you brake around that 2 board, back down all the way through the gears, down to second, cut it off that corner, use all that runoff, Going to be one of the more awkward spots here. Corvette, it's a way less of a break as it is in the GT3, GT4. One of the many corners we're going to see, I think, a little bit of awkwardness as the LMPs try to work their way around. A light lift on the first couple laps, otherwise flat out through that kink there. Back into the braking zone, and once again, hard on the binders. He's going to run a little too wide, and he's going to go off track here. Keeps it from going too far around. And then into the carousel. Again, another faster corner for the LMP3s than the GT3s or GT4s. And probably the car that's going to take the kink the easiest once the tires are up to temperature. Flat out, no problems. Using that downforce, keeping that car planted. I think lifting for that will be more dangerous than keeping it pinned down for these LMP3 drivers. Hard on the brakes into Canada corner and into the final sector and final couple corners. Also pretty much flat out from here until the final braking corner for the final braking marker for the final corner. Back on the brakes into third. You run it out in third, run all the way to the edge, come back out, and that is what a lap looks like. Ideally, you don't, cut off corner turn number 8. And a lap in the LMP3s, invalidated as he was both trying to avoid Benjamin O'Shea, as well as a few other drivers, but Scott Fleming currently topping the timing tower with a 159.66.
I find it interesting. Yeah, he's the only one with a time in right now.
Yeah, the first couple drivers had an off track here. Gian Cardoso after these two, and Mark Coyne getting a time in. I think we'll see a couple more filter in. Yeah, Gian Cardoso at 2 minutes even, point to 21. About 3/10 separate all the drivers who have posted a time right now. We see the rest of the field working their way through. Vincent LaRue, fantastic to see him back on track. We'll see how he fares this evening, going from no time to all the time. Purple final sector for Vincent. But I think an off-track
pop quiz for the folks at home.
Mm-hmm.
Fastest car in the speed trap. Who do you think it is?
Ethan Hamlet. I'm going to guess. I'm going to gander.
It is currently Anthony Hutchinson with 269.
Jeez,
269 kph.
And kph. I think it's 166. No, excuse me. 166. I'm seeing Anthony Newman with 166 miles per hour in freedom units.
Interesting.
So
that also could just be SDK client issues.
That could be. It could be SDK.
Yeah. But the other thing is too is that interestingly enough, seeing a majority of the LMP3s barely able to keep up with the top speed on the GT3s around here. So those long straights really going to be problematic when these two classes come together.
Yeah. It's going to be one of those classic things where the GT3s, because of their engines and how they produce their speed, have a faster top or higher top end than the LMP3s do. But the reason the lap time is faster for these LMP3s at Road America is because how much faster they take some of these high-speed corners.
Yep.
LMP3s will draft the GT3s down the straight. That doesn't change the fact that they probably might hit the rev limiter on those LMP3s.
Let me double check real quick because I believe
You have a Guy Fieri liveried LMP3 over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The LMP3 is going to take you to Flavortown.
Adam J. Duff, Matt Hugh.
Yep.
Two drivers who have yet to set a time. I was hoping I'd see one from Adam this time by. No such luck. Jack Wilkins now getting a good lap time in. Goes fast as the 158.89. 2/10 ahead of Vincent LaRue, who's currently in second. Shouldn't there be lots of room in 6th gear? Last time I ran this 5th gear all the way out. All right.
I really enjoyed your track walkthrough in the LMP3. I also like to imagine that when the LMP3s are driving around and we do a track walkthrough, that This was what it would be like for mail to be delivered through a mail slot at like 260K.
Yeah, the driving window of the LMP3 is not exactly the easiest. So if you look at him, Vincent LaRue trying to draft with Matt Hugh and then realizing the speed difference, has to figure out which way to go to get around him.
Matt Hugh has been spending a little bit of time off track. I think that's why he has not completed a lap. I have seen him on my screen in the gravel pits a few times.
Thank you, Brandon. Good luck out there on track. For those well wishes.
Heck yeah.
Scott Fleming splitting the difference between Vincent LaRue and Jack Wilkins. Vincent LaRue and Scott Fleming. Gian Cardoso all improving their times. Gian Cardoso jumping the timing of the timing tower with that 158.84, this most recent time by. As he dives into turn one to keep going around. 5 minutes left in qualifying. What are our final predictions on this?
Gian Cardoso to platinum. Platinum class. Get this man a contract. Get this man a contract. That's all I got to say about that.
As long as no one split 22s this race, I think we're going to have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Adam J. Duff, Benjamin O'Shea getting times in. Matt Hugh here alongside Scott Fleming that we're riding along with. Having a bit of a rough time, but seems to be getting a time in. Or hopefully we're getting a time in this time by. Scott Fleming locks it up, trying not to hit Matt Hugh. And that brings that lap time to a bit of an end. Jaden Ledbetter currently sitting in 6th. Interesting. Scott touches some grass, yeah. Don't do grass, kids. Last couple drivers, Benjamin O'Shea improving his lap time to 159.61, 159.52 for Mark Coyne. Jaden Ledbetter improves his time to 159.3, only putting him back into 5th. Interesting. Gian Cardoso improving that time as well with 158. No, that was the most recent lap. We'll see if he improves his time by. Got green sectors in most of those, one purple sector and an orange sector. We'll see if he improves that time further. It is considered a 158.58, excuse me.
Damn.
And Vince LaRue trying to see if he can improve that. Purple sector is in 1, 3, and 4. Green sector 5. And the last and final sector, sector 6. We'll see how that shapes up for him. And if he dethrones Gian Cardoso at the top of the timing towers, I believe he does with a purple sector 6. 158.43. Whole 10th faster.
Oh, almost 2/10.
Yeah. Fantastic.
That's why I was like, we need to stop the count.
Where we were with Gian Cardoso on top. See green sectors in all 4 sectors for Benjamin O'Shea as he's coming around to do his lap time. Might be getting held up here by Matt Hugh. Matt Hugh, I think, is trying to let him by. And Benjamin O'Shea, however, loses it going into that braking zone, bringing that lap to an unfortunate end. Jaden Ledbetter, green in almost all of the sectors as we round out the end of qualifying here with a minute left, just under a minute left on the clock. Matt Hugh posting a time of 2:01.69. And Jaden Ledbetter improving himself to 3rd. A 100th faster than Jack Wilkins. All right. So,
believe we're about to get set up. I believe the gridding will start shortly.
I believe so. Do we want to take a quick rundown of the grid as it stands? All right.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Let's kick it off here. Vince LaRue taking home that pole position alongside Gian Cardoso, who is currently sitting P2. Fantastic stuff from both of them. Jaden Ledbetter, Jack Wilkins on row number 2, Scott Fleming, and Mark Coyne in row number 3, Benjamin O'Shea, Adam J. Duff in row 4. That is way too many. Don't do that. Row 5 sees Matt Hugh, our 9th and final LMP3 driver. And I would say GT3. Phil, do you want to see how their grid is shaping up?
Yeah, sure. So Ethan Hamlin's going to line up alongside Matt Hugh to start us off in the GT3 category. We got 11th and 12th is going to be Retro Coffin and Anthony Hutchinson, with Austin Green and Bruno Clemente on row 7. Row 8 is going to be Sean Sullivan and Anthony Newman for Offline Racing. Then we've got 17th, 18th, Brandon Potts, Tommy Cogan, followed by Kerry Nolan, and Stephen Wallace in the GT4 Pro category is going to start that off. Do you want to run through those, Logan?
Sure. We got Stephen Wallace right next to Kerry Nolan. Then we have Corey Laubner, Tanner Schiffner on the next row. Then Tyler Torville, Matt Pyle, and Ryan Buchanan Ryan Buchanan and Lee Wu is the last of the pros.
And the amateurs, who are starting technically ahead of Ryan Buchanan and Lee Wu, Jameson Leckenbecky lines up alongside Chris Blue, Eduardo Zamora, Mark Robison, William Lewis alongside Ryan Buchanan there, and John Newman alongside Todd Tourville. I think we'll see a few of our back markers here as well. David Schneider, Christian Julian, who I did not see do a qualifying lap, but is out on the grid alongside then Henry Garcia, Lee Wu, our final 2 LMP or GT4 Pro drivers. So it's going to be a little bit interesting. Christian Julian in that LMP3 hiding in the back of the GT4s. I wonder if he'll be called to go around them. I don't think we see any other big movers there. All the cars on the grid this time by. Thankfully, I'm seeing them all how they're supposed to be. It's going to be a fast start to this race here. We'll see all those drivers there. The pace truck out in force tonight. Love to see it. I don't think we see enough of the pace truck.
The pace Chevy.
Yeah. Which is very interesting because the badge is not where I expect it to be.
You mean to tell me that these models are fallible in this video game?
These models are indeed fallible.
Yeah.
All right.
That said, I'm super excited. I think this is going to be a fun race.
I think we'll be as well. We're going to get a fantastic 20-minute sprint to get our feet wet and get everyone squared away for a 120-minute feature, which I think that will be our rather fantastic race this evening. I don't think we have a safety car. Well, no, we don't. I know we don't have a safety car. That's the whole reason we have heat and feature. In another league I do, there is a safety car probability. So I was like, I don't think we have a safety car because it's not this league. All my leagues are blurring together today. Sorry.
It's all good.
This guy's a man about town when it comes to broadcasting, ladies and gentlemen. But
I suppose.
Yeah, so I mean, they're going through the carousel right now. I'm just watching the time and scoring thing because sometimes even with multi-class racing, things can happen. Little bumps, little accidents. But yeah, just waiting to see them come around. It does look like they're getting some good spacing between LMP3 and GT3. So that'll be good.
Yeah, Christian Julian desperately trying to chase down the rest of the LMP3 field so that way he joins with them. And I think a rather good amount of space between, you can see where Christian Julian is trying to chase them down. And then you have Ethan Hamlet holding up the field here. And then another
toasting tires.
Yeah. And Corey Lobner, Stephen Wallace leading off GT4, the GT4s, both Pro and Am, who are all starting together. Now, got back to the front of the field. So they clear out a Canada corner. And this is not like F1. We won't see Vincent drop back from the end of the pace car to do a race restart we might see in F1. We'll probably follow him all the way to the start-finish line. He has a restart zone of sorts, which is kind of right past the pit entry line, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly where it is.
So he can go pretty much any time from here to the drop of the green flag. Watch these cars come over. He punches it, going uphill. All these cars.
GDN got caught napping. Jaden moves to the inside, gets in second place. Oh, cars are jockeying. Oh, man. Oh, wow.
And Jaden's going for that dive of the inside. Gian Cardoso trying to follow him through. Vincent holding on to the outside, trying to get too swarmed, trying to be patient here in his opening corners. Kind of hop back to Ethan Hamlet leading away the GT3s. So far, all of them still going the right direction. 2 wide, almost 3 wide. It looks like it here from the inside as they go into the corner. Binders, Austin Green on the inside of Anthony Hutchinson a little ways back. Gets that pace done for P3. Last, certainly not least, Stephen Wallace leading away by a healthy margin. I think he also got a great jump over Corey Lobner as this field heads down to turn 1 as well. Getting through pretty cleanly. GT4 Am drivers in the back. Mark Robison alongside William Lewis on the inside there. The binder's still 2 wide going into turn 3. Oh.
Ooh, wow.
Ryan Buchanan, that BMW almost getting into the back end of William Lewis. Jaden Ledbetter leading away the LMP3s who have zippered down into single file. And Gene Cardoso, I think, got a little caught out here. Coming through the kink into Canada corner.
I just want to say that now that we've gotten through most of the lap, that was extremely clean.
Oh, yeah.
That was extremely clean. There was almost no one off track.
Which is impressive in itself.
Yeah. And now it's all going to go to pot, but at least we're going to recognize the good things. We're going to recognize the good things.
We got Matt Pyle around underneath right before the carousel.
Oh, Matt Pyle being listed as crash. Let's take a quick look at it. Fastest time of the race here for Jaden. Let's see what happened here. Coming out of turn number 8, we were talking about this being a spot. We're going to see a lot of action, and it has already started. Hard on the brakes, though. Keeps that car out of the pile of cars that are going by him, and then gets that car going the right direction. A fantastic bit of heads-up driving. There's a
not what you want to see. Not what you want to see, but Matt getting the car recorrected quickly and minimizing the damage. I think it's going to put him in a position where he can maybe try and recover maybe 1-2 spots. Oh wow!
Vincent lunging down the inside, gonna lose the position. I think out to Jack Wilkins as he gets late on the brakes. As these three are all gunning for the top spots.
We got Matt Hugh around coming out of 5.
Matt Hugh also.
See, this is what we were thinking about, man. Turn 5. It's gonna be tough, especially on the LMP3s, who are very prone to rear locking.
Yeah, we saw lap 1 go pretty well for these drivers. Austin Green passing Anthony Hutchinson again. Just going to see if we hang out with these GT3s for a little bit, see what happens as they go around the Porsche, the kink in the Porsche. Lap 1 was all good.
It is true. We have not yet seen a moment where we have had a Porsche want to return to its natural state of backwards.
All cars things.
Want to put their engines first.
Ooh. Ethan Hamlet being clocked as going off track. I think that might have been just a little bit of a clip of grass.
Yeah, I don't see it on my end, so they all seem to manage to get through the kink. Anthony Hutchinson, Sean Sullivan, Bruno Clemente, all in position for them. And while all these drivers have been battling at the front of the field in LMP3, Scott Fleming setting the fastest in-race lap.
Damn.
There is like a moment where when we're watching the GT3s, I keep thinking we've got like a Porsche Cup field.
Yeah, they do. With how many we have 4 of them here tonight. Retro Coffin being the 4th one that we kind of don't see in the screen because he is right behind Ethan Hamlet, a little ways up the road, about 3 seconds to Anthony Hutchinson and Austin Green, and all these drivers. Jack Wilkins now trying to get the pass done on Jaden Ledbetter. Jaden just kind of holding up the field at this point a little bit, as all of them have set faster laps over the past couple laps. No Mustangs, just the whole class out. Yeah, I think we have one driver for Mustangs. That's Kerry Nolan, who is here tonight. So we'll see a Mustang floating around a little ways into the field. Jack Wilkins getting a bad exit out of the carousel.
America.
Logan, what are your thoughts on the first couple laps as we've been just going?
We have been pretty clean, but I've seen more LMP3 spinning than I have seen all season. It is nuts. Oof. But so far, so good. I mean, everyone's been clean. Typical sprint behavior. Everyone's getting it while they can.
Yeah, 1/4 distance complete, 5 minutes of the 20 done. And a very spread out GT3 field, even from now. Ethan Hamlet 2 seconds ahead of Retro Coffin, 3 seconds ahead of Austin Green. And GT4s are not too far off. We have to go all the way down to David Schneider, Todd Torville, who are in a heated battle trying to go through turn number 5 up towards 6. And in the middle of this, Matt Piles trying to get around both of them. And they all seem to get through all in one piece.
Cool.
This is a fun multi-class action here at the track. One of the best tracks in America.
Gian Cardoso right behind, or trying not to get passed by Scott Fleming, who is getting it done, has the line, but Gian Cardoso's still keeping his nose in. And Scott's like, I don't need the nose in. Mark Coyne in the background of this, after coming off a pretty solid win, I think is just biding his time and trying not to end up in spun the wrong direction.
I'm just watching the off-track counters just continue to tick up.
Yeah,
They're definitely racking them up. We're on lap 4. Some people are sitting on 6, 7 off tracks already.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jack Wilkins
Move.
the lead.
Oh. Into Canada.
Oh. And forcing the inside, keeping that position for the moment. But all this battling has allowed Vincent LaRue, who was a second and a half behind, to just catch up to both of them.
Where's the moment to strike?
And
will Jaden make him walk the plank? All right.
Another look for Jack Wilkins. I'm going to see if I can hop on board with Vincent. See this battle from where Vincent's looking at it. Jack gets the pass done for the moment, and Jaden's looking on the inside. Jack forcing him to go defensive, looking for that inside line. There's a bit of a rough exit for both of them, meaning that Vincent's unfortunately now in this awkward spot between two cars. Because if I look at from the outside, well, thankfully Jack has not boxed him in, but I thought he was boxed in for a moment behind both of them.
And then down into turn 5, and we got
Jack's trying to
LMP3s. Just which draft do I take?
Oh, Vincent once again leaning up the inside.
This is wild. This is absolutely wild.
Matt Hugh into the pit lane after having a bit of an off track. Kerry Nolan also listed as having an off track. No crashes outside of Matt Hugh and Benjamin O'Shea having some crashes that I think were off tracks after a spin.
They were.
Jaden's just fighting with Jack there in the background as Vincent's starting to pull away now. They're coming up on the first of lapped traffic. That is, I believe, Todd Dorville. Excuse me. Henry Garcia has not taken to the grip field. Oh, Vincent. Jaden trying not to kill Todd Dorville, losing out to his position as he had to lift. It's going to get eaten up by both Scott Fleming and Gian Cardoso. Background here. Oh. And Jack Wilkins also going to be losing out to Scott Fleming. These
the LMP3s are just an absolute street fight right now.
They are. It is a brawl. Mark Coyne arriving on scene, trying to capitalize on this time. Gab for Jaden had to avoid hitting Todd Dorville and lost a lot of time as he had to brake to not run into that GT4 AMG machine. Now they're coming past David Schneider. All of these drivers have off tracks for Sean Sullivan, Bruno Clemente. I'm scared to look away from this battle for GT4s. It seems to have calmed down, at least for the moment.
It's okay. The cars can't hurt you. You can look away.
I will look away. I want to see what happened with Bruno Clemente. I believe this also involves Sean Sullivan, both of them in GT3 Porsches, and they both just run wide. And
into turn.
Brandon Potts as well as Tommy Kogan having to fight him. What turn was that? Excuse me, Phil.
That's turn 8, and then they go into the carousel, and they're going side by side. Now, here's the thing. How brave is one of them going to be when we get up here to the kink? I think Bruno's going to slot in behind Tommy Kogan.
Yeah.
And then from here on out, they're just going to ride along doing the normal thing. Although we do see some more action. Does look like Retro Coffin might have gone off track.
Yeah, I think it was not bad enough to be considered a crash. So I think he kept that car going the right direction. He's still 4 seconds ahead of Austin Green, 5 seconds behind Ethan Hamlin, who has run off into the sunset with that new Corvette that he's rocking.
Yes. By the end of this heat race, Ethan Hamlin's going to be starting round 5.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Gian Cardoso, Jaden Ledbetter working to get around these GT4s. We are now properly in GT4 traffic, multi-class, working its way through. See Scott Fleming, Jack Wilkins I feel like he almost lost that car and just caught it at the right moment. Scott Fleming now all over the rear of that machine. And it is chaos, pandemonium as this continues.
It's got to be an absolute hornet's nest for these guys.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm going to ride along so I can get a good onboard shot. What are these? One of these? This one? That one? No. I guess I'm going to go to the rocks. Just going to see Bruno Clemente, see if he has a good run here. One of the bigger battles in GT3 happening right now. I'm sorry, you're not going to watch the race in replay mode for 5 minutes. Chris, I apologize. Oh, see how these two still sticking with it. Anthony Newman a ways behind now. Both of these guys behind Brandon Potts, Sean Sullivan. Kerry Nolan trying to get around Anthony Newman as they come across start finish line. Matt Hugh trying to get around both of them.
Ooh, we got a crash, it looks like, with Benjamin O'Shea.
And Sean Sullivan off track, but back on track. Too wide for Kerry Nolan and Anthony Newman.
Love it. Kerry Nolan representing Bald Eagles and Light Beer.
Let's see what happened to Benjamin O'Shea this time by. Oh, GT4 traffic also involved. I wonder if he's just late on the brakes trying to catch up with, I believe that's Christian Julian.
Ooh.
Oh, he gets rear-ended by, I believe that's going to be Matt Pyle. Excuse me, not Matt Pyle. Ryan Buchanan. That's the one. There we go.
They're all pile driving.
Oh,
Let's bump the live button and see where the field is, because
Yeah.
Vincent LaRue in first.
yep.
Right
Vincent
now,
LaRue in
to the
first.
tune of 2.7. Yeah.
Just, I think, managing traffic a little bit better than everybody else. That has really spread out this field. Jack Wilkins in second. Gian Cardoso in third. Adam J. Duff up 4 positions into fourth. Getting around Mark Coyne and Jaden Ledbetter. As well as Scott Fleming, I think, really losing out on... Yeah, let's take a look here. Scott Fleming, Jaden Ledbetter are both listed as off tracks here. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's a... Both of them losing that car from tracking out too wide in the carousel. And they have to get that car going back in the right direction. You see Jaden right in front of Scott there after all of that. And that's why they are further down their respective field order. Brandon Potts trying to catch up to Sean Sullivan in the GT3s. A few battles currently going on right now. See, we haven't tuned in to GT4 Pro or AM yet for a long period of time. Let's look at this battle for the lead of GT4 AM between Jameson Leckenbecky and Christopher Blue.
Yeah, they are definitely going toe to toe with one another. And just to let you know, Jameson Leckenbecky is sitting on, or in Leckenby, he is sitting on 9 off tracks.
Ooh. When's his first drive through?
That's a good question.
That's a great question. You should probably be able to find the answer to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a look real quick. Yeah, first drive through at 20, and then every 10. DQ at 50.
Oh.
2 fast repairs, but we haven't really seen anybody get into any kind of accidents, so I don't think fast repairs have been really that necessary.
Yeah.
The fast cars haven't started working through each other yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen the LMP3, and I'm not sure we will. We are, 5 minutes away from the end of this sprint race, and I don't think we'll see the LMP3s make it back around to the GT3s. Again, there's only like there's a minute.
Actually, what does it look like with the track map?
Yeah, let's pull up that.
I'm just kind of curious.
Nope, that's a stint line.
Bunch of dots on a squiggly line.
That is a bunch
There
of
you
dots
go.
on a squiggly line.
Yep. So you take a look right now where Vincent LaRue is. He's not even at, what is that? Turn 5 yet, yep. And the last GT3 just went through the kink.
Yeah. Remember, the pace differential between the LMP3s and the GT3s very, very close here. I'm going to hop back on with the LMP3 or GT3s. GT4 AMs. Jameson Leckenbecky having an off track there into, I believe that was turn number 1, and Christopher Blue running away with that as a result. Also, Green, Bloom, Clemente having off tracks. A fair bit of off tracks in this race. The car is making little mistakes here and there, but no big incidents here. Adam J. Duff, I think, having an exit incident on the outside of turn number 8, much like you were talking about. Something we'll have to keep an eye on for all of these drivers is turn number 8.
This man's coming from South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands. Heck yeah. Track limits racing going international. I do wonder what it is about South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands that makes you a Guy Fieri fan, though.
I'm also curious. I wonder if he did like a whole tour there or something.
Do they have a commemorative flavor town in the Sandwich Islands?
Oh, I bet they're all in the bathroom.
Ooh, I see a big crash. Mark Robinson and Lee Woo.
Let's look at it here. There's Mark Robinson in front of Lee Woo. All 3 wide with William Lewis as well. And they just turn into each other. And he stops to not get hit here. Oh, Retro Coffin trying to get around them. Lee Woo is patient. They're not battling for overall position or for in-class position, but their points are based on where they finish in the GT4 field. But gets the car going back the right direction.
That was a tough one, man. That was almost 3 wide into turn 8, I think. So
yes, including William Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh, some scary turnarounds too.
Yep. Anthony Hutchinson and Austin Green duking it out for, I believe that's P3 in class. See if we look on the roll bar here with Anthony Hutchinson. See how he gets that exit. Uses up all that runoff.
Gonna get that nice Porsche transmission whine.
Yeah, we haven't heard enough of it this season. He's gonna get the draft here. He's gonna look on the inside.
Sounds like the world's most aggressive power drill.
And keeps that car going the right direction, but loses a little bit of time there trying to go for the inside line. It's a lot harder to take the inside line in turn number 1 in these lower downforce machines. The field has got really spread out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so in the road courses like this that have those kind of like punishing off-track areas, that tends to be a pretty common thing to see, even when you got short lap times. Like you'll see the field spread out a lot at tracks like Laguna, or at British tracks like Olton.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised to see that at all.
While we've been talking about all this, checkered flag is out. Vincent LaRue taking home our our sprint finish over the rest of these cars as they come over the start-finish line.
Yep.
All of our LMP3s. And we're going to have a big old break as the GT3s are still working through traffic.
Yep. Race leader in GT3, Ethan Hamlet, currently in the middle of some GT4 contenders here.
Still 7 seconds ahead of Retro Coffin.
Yeah, if I were him, I'd just basically I'd sit there, because no one's going to catch you right now. But this battle right here, that little bit of touch. Yep.
Austin Green trying to get back around Anthony Hutchinson, was around him at the end of the last lap. Doesn't want to be around him over the checkered flag as he goes to go around the Jameson Leckenbecky, who's coming home P2 for GT4 AM. And it's going to be a drag race down the start-finish stretch. And Anthony Hutchinson beats him out by 0.06 of a second.
That was close.
So very intense racing happening here at the end of GT3. GT4, Stephen Wallace with the win, with Tanner Schiffner, Tyler Torville in third. And then your GT4 AM, you got Christopher Blue, Jameson Leckenby, and Eduardo Zamora. Very cool.
Of the finishers make their way across the start-finish line to round out your finishers for the heat.
That was spicy.
We're
about to do that for 2 hours.
Yeah. So, Vincent LaRue taking home the win there. And Jack Wilkins, Gian Cardoso, Jay Ledbetter, Scott Fleming, Adam J. Duff, Mark Coyne, Christian Julian, Benjamin O'Shea, and Matt Hugh are your 10 finishers for the LMP3 category. Phil, how about GT3?
Everyone's going to be stunned to hear that Ethan Hamlet won the GT3 category here at Road America, getting the top spot going into the feature race. Retro Coffin in 6th, followed by Anthony Hutchinson. Then we've got Austin Green, Sean Sullivan, Brandon Potts, Tommy Kogan, Anthony Newman, Bruno Clemente, and Kerry Noland. So that's battle between Anthony Hutchinson and Austin Green there at the end. I wonder if we're going to have ourselves a bit of a slugfest for 2 hours between those two.
I think we'll see that probably continue based on the way that was going. But before that, GT4 Pro. Logan, how are those looking?
Well, we have Stephen Wallace, followed by Tanner Schiffner, Tyler Torville, Corey Lobner, Matt Pyle, Lee Wu, Ryan Buchanan, and Henry Garcia. Rounds out the pros.
Hell yeah. Last but certainly not least, those GT4 AM drivers. Christopher Blue winning out against Jameson Leckenbecky after that. Leckenby. I don't know why I'm saying Leckenby. Leckenbecky. What? Yeah.
I say it really fast and it happens to me too. It's okay.
Leckenby. Now I'm saying it the right way. 2 seconds behind. I think we'll see another battle for them because Jameson had fantastic pace. I think he just got a little bit unlucky with the off track and didn't have the time to come back. Eduardo Zamora in third. I think another person, if he keeps that car going the right direction, will be very solidly in that position. William Lewis having a fantastic run. John Newman, David Schneider, Mark Robeson, and Todd Tourville, all individuals who we'll see make their way around as well and hopefully gets a fantastic run. That big gap between William Lewis and John Newman, I wonder if they all have consistent racing as well, if they end up in more of these fights with these other drivers further up the order.
It's gonna be tough. I think as we get ready to we're still in the warm up section before we hit that feature race. But 2 hours around here, especially with the limited fuel tank capacity, we're gonna see multiple stops out of these guys, and the strategy is just gonna have to be on point because you've got so many points in this race where you can make a mistake in the pits. I think passing on tracks are gonna be do at your own risk. Passing in the pits probably going to be the smarter play. But we'll see how everybody handles it once they get out on track.
Fantastic. Logan, thoughts as we got done with the heat race here?
We've had some really good battles on track. Not Garcia. Where am I at here? Hutchison and Green, that was a hell of a battle, but there were also some good GT4 battles going on I saw. I can't wait. This is going to be a good 2 hours.
That it certainly is. 2 hours of driving coming up here. I'm going to see if I hit the button right for this thing. Quick rundown. I'll just burn through them real quick, because we just talked about how they finished, so that means that's going to be how they grid. Vincent LaRue alongside Jack Wilkins. I think, the only difference here is going to be that Jaden Ledbetter is going to be on the second row instead of the first row. And then Gian Cardoso and Jaden Ledbetter on row number 2. Row number 3, Adam J. Duff, Scott Fleming, and then Christian Julian alongside Mark Coyne. I go too far as usual. Last set of drivers here for LMP3 is going to be Benjamin O'Shea. We got Ethan Hamlet leading off once again the GT3 field with Retro Coffin alongside Anthony Hutchinson, Austin Green, Sean Sullivan, Brandon Potts, and Matt Hugh. Trying to get through these as quick as possible. You have Tommy Kogan, Anthony Newman, Bruno Clemente, Kerry Nolan are all of your GT3 drivers. GT4 is going to be Stephen Wallace, Ender Schiffner, Tyler Tourville, Corey Lobner, Chris Blue in GT4 AM from GT4 Pro, Jameson Leichenbecky alongside him. I think we'll have a spicy GT4 AM start there with those two being on the same row and not kind of off kilter like some of the GT3 battle we saw. Eduardo Zamora, William Lewis, Matt Pyle, Lee Wu, Ryan Buchanan, John Newman, David Schneider, Mark Robeson, Todd Tourville are going to be all of your drivers. I believe Henry Garcia, while he's listed in here, is not on the racing surface at this time. Anything I missed as I burned?
No, good rundown, man. That's great.
Cool.
A great rundown. So, I mean, they're just doing the formation lap right now to get set up. And, again, kind of like before, LMP3 is going out first. GT3 is going to give themselves some space. The grid's going to be a little more normal looking because we won't have an LMP3 starting in the back of GT4. And then, so GT3s are going to be a little bit further back before we get into our GT4 runners. GT4 runners, just so everybody remembers, they're separate classes. There's GT4 Pro, GT4 AM Championship, but they are actually scored combined. So we've been seeing a lot of GT4 AMs jumping GT4 Pros in the series. And for them, whenever they can get past a GT4 Pro runner, that's big points for them in comparison to the rest of the GT4 AM field. So I'm kind of curious if we're going to see a little bit more of that happening in this race too, because of all the classes in this series, the GT4 AMs have absolutely the most to gain. Because they can move far beyond the scope of what their finishing order is in terms of scoring points. So it's gonna be interesting, but we'll see how it all shakes out.
Fantastic stuff. Logan, anything else to add as we're getting through the gridding lap here?
No, you guys pretty well covered it. I mean, there's just going to be so much racing, and these guys are going to be tired. I know people on the East Coast are going to be super late by the time this race ends. So a few guys may start getting some sleepies, and accidents start happening from that. Like I did last season at Sebring.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It does. You do get that a little bit of that endurance feel with these longer feature races. But yeah, hopefully people are going to keep their head on a swivel. We'll have a race free from serious accidents, and yeah, I just want to see more action on track, less action in the wall, so to speak. But yeah, they're trying to keep temperature in these tires right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's going to be an interesting race start.
Just coming through Canada right now.
Yep.
So the drivers, about a 20-second gap between them and GT3, and the same about gap between GT3 and GT4. More of a 10-second gap between those. As we're getting ready to go
Everybody at home is hydrated because we're about to do this for 2 hours.
2 hours. Oh, one. There we go.
A nice shot of this tree.
Yeah, fantastic shot of the tree. The safety car is off now. Vincent LaRue has control of the field, can launch at any time, and he chose to go right up where he left last time. Great launch from him. Jack Wilkins caught out just a little bit, as well as Gene Cardoso. Jaden Ledbetter just pushing Jack Wilkins down the start-finish straight as best as he can, forcing them almost to go 3 wide alongside Adam J. Duff. Jack Wilkins trying to go for the inside. A little bit of a twitch there for Jaden Ledbetter, but everybody's getting through all fine and dandy. Ethan Hamlet leading away. GT3's really pushed it late. Retro Coffin caught out. As a result, the battle for P3 here.
Yeah.
Once again beginning between Anthony Hutchinson, Austin Green, Brandon Potts in the background of this. Oh, almost such good racing between all these drivers as they get going and underway. And last, certainly not least, Stephen Wallace leading away. Tanner Schiffner for GT4s and GT4 Pros.
Ooh,
I see a bunch of cars lighting up.
Yeah, we got a bunch. We got a few LMP3s.
Okay, we got through at least turn 1 in all of these cars, in all of these things. I think the
And
only
we
one
got
who didn't.
GT4s.
Corey Lobner keeps it on at least keeps it out of the wall. Loses a lot of the positions he had
out of the
gained.
wall and brings the grass to the track.
Well, take a quick look here. What happened with Scott Fleming and I believe Mark Coyne also wrapped up in this. Gene Cardoso looked like from a lesser extent. Oh, Benjamin O'Shea launches them into the wall, goes 3 wide, turns both Fleming and John. Oh, poor Mark Coyne getting wrapped up in this. All of these drivers spraying out and spreading out the field rather rapidly. The only 2 left there going to be.
Sean Sullivan just went into Austin Green coming out of 8.
As we get through here, trying to make our way back up the order.
It is getting spicy already.
It is indeed. We're going to see if these GT3s, Porsche cars make it through the kink. It looks like everyone has. Sean Sullivan crashing in to Anthony Newman. Turn number 8, right where we thought it would be. Just see what happens here. Oh, gets self-spins and tags Anthony Green in the process.
Yeah, just like at that point, like
trying to hold the brakes, and then he just that is a front end slam into the wall. That car not going to be happy with that too much. Lap 1 done and dusted for all these drivers. Vincent LaRue holding off.
Tanner
P1,
Schiffner just spun in Canada.
Jack Wilkins, Tanner Schiffner, Todd Tourville also having offs here in a moment. The rest of the field, Gene Cardoso driving alongside Scott Fleming. Late on the brakes for Christian Julian and Matt Hugh. As those drivers try to work their way around. Tyler Tourville, Stephen Wallace battling it out for the lead of GT4 Pro. as well as GT4 overall, and Christopher Blue, right behind them, watching it all go down. See where he ends up.
Oh, Steven got
Swap
into the back of Tanner. Oof.
Those positions.
It is weird. We're doing very much a longer race, yet we are racing like we are doing a very much shorter race.
Yeah. So.
That's just a good shot. Getting to see all those GT4s coming down the hill towards turn 5.
So many GT4s in the shot. So many GT4s with great pace, running really well here. Stephen Wallace trying to figure out his way back around Tyler Torville as they're getting going. Gian Cardoso getting around. Christian Julian now trying to figure out how to get around Matt Hugh. The battle in the overall lead. Jack Wilkins on a tear, having a great run out of the final corner, and the draft to really help him. Whole 10th faster, but just Vincent LaRue holding it the inside line and forcing Jack to take the long way around, which puts him back on the tailgate of that vehicle as they go into turn number 3. All right.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. Man, if I'm like looking at something right now, I'm really interested in seeing what's going on right here in GT4s. Matt Pyle and Eduardo Zamora are sandwiched together. Corey Lobner, he's back in the field. He's down 6 spots after the start of this race.
Yeah, we saw him go off in turn number 1 very briefly. So he's trying to get around. These two are nose to tail.
I do enjoy the iRacing popcorn effects.
They're pretty solid. Pretty stellar.
Yep. Track Limits Racing Sports Car Series on iRacing, brought to you by Pop Secret. Yep.
I wonder if Stephen Wallace picked up any damage when he got into the back of Tanner Schiffner. And I wonder if that's why he hasn't legged out over Torville yet.
That's a good question. It is a good question, man. Up in the LMP, I mean, from the LMP3s, GT4 field, pretty much up and down the order in those classifications. We got really close fights going on. For GT3, you're going to have to go back to like the battle for P5 or the battle for P7 to like get close fights in GT3. As Brandon Potts, the lone McLaren. Yeah. I'm actually, to be perfectly honest, I'm actually surprised not to see more McLarens.
I know at least with VRS, there haven't been a lot of setups released for the McLaren for next week yet. I know that the Macca's setup has just been posted today, but everyone else's setups have been set. So I wonder if there's a little issue getting the tune on these cars right, and that's why people aren't flocking to the Macca.
This battle, however,
Austin
raging
Green.
on.
Yep. Austin Green in the draft. Is he going to try and make a move into turn 1? Shows him the nose.
Has the look. Goes for the
dive.
dive.
Yeah, he's going for it. He's going for it.
Oh.
Ooh.
Keep it clean. Running too wide still through 2 into 3. And just
there's a touch. Just a touch.
Bump there. Brandon Potts now trying to go for the over-under. His battling is bringing Bruno Clemente and the trio of cars in that battle for 6th on back into the shot at least. A little ways back, but everyone there also fighting it out for position. The gap between Vince LaRue and Jack Wilkins already growing out to a few tenths, almost a second.
Stephen Wallace is, he's hanging with Tyler. He's not letting Tyler get away.
Let's look at the gearbox view from Tyler Torville. You talk about this damage to the front end of Stephen Wallace. I'm trying to see where it is. The only thing I can see is a little bit of a kink on that would be front right, and the kind of the left of the car as we're looking at it on the splitter. But I don't even know if that is a bit of damage there.
He's keeping pace with them.
Oh, that's a lunge.
Speaking of keeping pace, that is a lunge.
Yeah, Tyler Troville.
Yep. Just
gonna
like
have
that.
the run here.
Yeah. Tyler's got the run into Corvette.
They're
And
trading
Steven's
back
just
and
like,
forth.
Yep, that's not the place to try and make the move on the outside, that's for sure. But going into turn 8, though.
Let's see if this continues.
Everybody's favorite. I think he's just trying. To be perfectly honest, I think Steven's just really just trying to apply pressure. Like I think if he applies pressure and Tyler isn't necessarily going to like slow them down, make Matt Pyle kind of like get into contention here, I think he's probably just okay to just continue to apply pressure. It does look like there was a significant crash involving John Newman. He's jumped to the pits.
Oh no.
That might be the after effects. You might have to go back a bit. Okay, so he clips a little bit of the grass. Oh, no, there it is, and then into the wall. And that is a broke. That front left is gone. It is that wheel is there only in spirit. There's no way that car is turning.
Oof.
Yeah, so so John Newman jumped to the pits. Todd Torville now going to the pits. So these two really close in the points. So I'm curious what happened on Todd Torville's end. Again, same spot, front end gone, and and he taps the wall twice. I wonder if he just jumped straight to the pits. He doesn't even try to. He doesn't even try to bring it home. So the two of those still in close contention on points, and they're going to be going in for those fast repairs. Wow. Okay, this is the moment. Yep, we're starting to filter in through that GT4 traffic.
Yeah, that GT4 traffic I think is what cost Vincent Lurie the lead that he had, trying to not hit John Newman the first time around, and so now he's trying to get back around, and in the process trying not to kill Jack Wilkins in front of him. A few more off tracks. Matt Pyle now listed as crashed as well.
He sent it into 5. He absolutely sent it into 5.
All right, we'll take a quick look at this. See where he just lunges up both of these cars and just cooks it. Loses the positions he was just trying to gain there, and another position to Li Wu, actually in the championship standings. Oh, but doesn't have the car crash on him. Gian Cardoso, Mark Coyne, a little ways down the LMP3 order, as well as our race leaders. This battle between Tommy Kogan and Bruno Clemente still raging on. I believe, I don't know if I saw Brandon Potts have it off here exactly, as Bruno Clemente goes defensive into turn number 5. Oh, we'll see if he overshoots that braking marker. As a result, Tommy Kogan getting a fantastic run out of turn 5, has the inside of turn 6, but blocks it off. Bruno Clemente does, and that's a spun Tommy Kogan as a result, as he gets...
Did something happen to his front end?
It looks like he got turned on. We'll see. Yeah, he goes off track here. Well, let me just back it up from there.
Can you go back? Hang on. Yeah. So he pops out. Okay, so he comes over.
Let's.
Where's the contact? Why did the front end drop?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
what
happened
that's made of paper mache.
Bruno Clemente. There we go. What if I go onto the gearbox?
This is crazy.
If I go back a little bit further. Yeah, there's a touch there.
Oof.
I wonder if that was
the front end of his car was gone.
Yeah.
Did you see it? Like lights switched off, the bumper dropped, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I wonder if it classified that as contact. And
that is so weird.
Yeah.
Because it didn't look that bad.
No, it did not.
The Corvette is very, very fragile.
Okay, all right. Well, he's driving around with no headlights. That's going to be interesting.
That is going to be interesting. Kerry Nolan all over the back of Brandon Potts at this point. And Vincent LaRue.
America.
2 seconds behind our leaders there. Gian Cardoso fending off Mark Coyne. This battle in GT3, a few battles all across the GT4 space. It's Tommy Kogan, I believe, gets passed by Sean Sullivan as well. Stephen Wallace still trying to pass Tyler Torville.
Ooh,
Not
Gian is
successfully.
off track.
Gian Cardoso ceding the spot to Mark Coyne via the off track. Take a look here. Just for a
I
quick
gotta
moment.
say anything. We got somebody with 11 off tracks. Right?
Oh. Yeah, that looks right.
Not Gian, by the way.
Not Gian. Nope. And a different driver.
Not Gian. Just want to make that clear.
Oh, forcing Liwu wide, trying to get back into the fight with Mark Coyne. Liwu loses out to Matt Pyle as a result. This battle between Christopher Blue and Jameson Leckenby continuing as they all try to work their way through. GT4 pros here. Just want to see a quick look how they're holding up as they come across the start-finish straight. Looked like Steven. Oh yeah, the over underpass there. It definitely looks like he did not expect the braking to happen when it happened, and then ended up having a bad run there, and then gave it back to make it easy.
Edward Samara in the pits.
Interesting. Wonder what for.
That does not feel scheduled.
Does
We're only
not.
15 minutes in.
Yeah. Let's see here. As these two duke it out. Oh, Gian Cardoso on the inside. Mark Coyne going around the outside. Both giving each other plenty of space. Gian Cardoso getting that pass done. Mark Coyne now getting the benefits of the draft.
Zamora was in the pits for 16 seconds.
Okay.
That feels like fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy Kogan also diving in, probably to get that fast repair done.
I wonder if we've got some GT4s pulling early stops to try and
Bruno
repair
Clemente
the
is
splash at
off.
the end.
Yeah, unfortunate off track for Bruno Clemente. He was off for 12 seconds. I wonder if he had a self
Oh,
spin.
his car looks
that-
broken.
Oof.
That's a self
Does he go to
spin.
the wall?
He
Does he go to the
slams
wall?
into the
He
tire
does.
barrier.
Yeah.
Now, when he comes out on track, the rear left suspension, I think, rear right suspension, I believe, is broken. Yeah, that car's not
Oh,
driving in a straight line.
That is
fellas.
a crabbing car. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh, and then
he
he
is.
pulls it off to the side, and I think he's going to tow
That's
that thing.
unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
Take the repairs, try and get back out on track, try and farm some points if you can. Because it's going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen to a non-zero chunk of this field. So there's
Yeah.
still a possibility to get some good points.
Say we've already seen it happen. John Newman, Todd Torville also jumping into the pits with damage. Tommy Kogan pulling it back into the pits after that as well. So definitely possible there. Vincent, I believe, had a unfortunate bit of traffic that cost him a little bit of time. Then he's just not been able to pull the gap back towards him, taking a couple laps to recenter that car. Has set the fastest lap this most recent time by, though. He is still behind Jack by about a second. Yeah, it only shows the 5 cars, there's like 7 cars in class, 5 cars closest, so only so many can be shown at once. Not a battle for position. William Lewis trying to chase down and hold on to, see if he can use Corey Lobner to get some more time back in class. Ethan Hamlet, who's once again run off a solid 3 seconds ahead of Retro Coffin, are trying to work his way through GT4 traffic. Corey Lobner not going to turn over and just let him go. He late look at it, Ethan, to get around him. That's going to bring William Lewis right along his side with him.
Retro keeping pretty good pace to Ethan this time.
Yeah, pretty good so far. I think traffic has definitely helped them manage it a little bit better. You can see the pace differential so much slower between the GT3 and GT4 versus the LMP3 and both of these cars because of that lack of downforce. We'll see how he manages, gets that car through the kink without dying. Adam J.
Which is a feat of its own, especially in the Porsche.
Absolutely. Adam J. Duff into the pit lane. I think that is... I don't think that's a scheduled stop still, but... stop of some kind. Seeing where the leaders are. Current... out of all the cars on track, closest battle within a second. It's going to be Kerry Nolan chasing down Brandon Potts for, I believe, what is P5 overall, or P5 in class, not overall. That's true. Not helpful. There's cars there.
When you get the hill shot, though, it is pretty cool.
Yeah. And all right.
Duff is still in the pit box, probably taking tires and gas.
Anthony Newman in the pit lane.
Yeah, I do think there's a bit of a pit offset here that certain people are doing, going on alternate strategy, pitting early.
Oh, battle here between Kerry Nolan and Brandon Potts. Brandon Potts on the inside line, trying to get as much room as he can alongside Kerry Nolan. And Kerry Nolan looking for that over-under. Having to go back around, not getting the successful run out of the final. Sorry, not a final car, but turn number 5. Turn number 6. The sector that probably favors the McLaren just a little bit more than the Mustang, as it is a mid-engine car. But we'll see when we get down to the kink, as well as the back straight into Canada corner, how that changes, if any. Still in the pits for Adam J. Duff.
Mark Coyne in the pits.
Mark Coyne in the pits. Ooh. Jack Wilkins setting the
little strategy
fast.
here.
I think so. Fastest lap out of this race as well from Jack Wilkins. Going with a 158.17. A tenth, almost a tenth faster than Vincent LaRue, who is right behind him. So this gap not really changing between the two front runners. I know we haven't really... I don't have them pulled up here because I'm kind of watching this battle between Kerry Nolan and Brandon Potts. But Corey Lobner holding them up just a little bit, going wide as Brandon Potts has to take a worse exit, leading to once again the two of them duking it down the front stretch, which is going to favor that Mustang in general. Plus with the draft, it's going to help them a little bit more.
The other thing is, too, is they're catching up to, I believe that is Jameson Leckenby, who is actually behind Lee Wu at the moment.
Yeah, Jameson Leckenby, I think, having a bit of an off earlier. He had to recover from. Oh. Kerry Nolan waiting to get around Lee Wu. That battle has gotten broken up as a result. The traffic giveth and the traffic taketh away, as they say. Battle for the
Very
lead.
good battle so far, yeah. The battle for the lead still rages on, yeah. Vincent just sticking with Jack, so your boy Vincent putting in work right now.
Yeah, I think Jack had
Making
a bit
Jack
of a rough
earn it.
time. Yeah, Jack had a rough lap this last time by 201 to the 159.66 of Vincent LaRue. So battle for the lead back into a few tenths of a second. Now,
I'm gonna say this. There's someone on track right now who has 13 off tracks, and it's not someone you would expect.
Jaden Ledbetter.
No. It'll shock you.
will it shock me?
Is it Ethan?
It's Ethan Hamlin, 14 off
Holy
tracks.
crap. Did not see that coming.
Yep.
But he's also got, what, second and a half on retro right now.
Yeah,
Yep, it does look like the traffic is affecting the overall pace that Ethan's able to execute on. And I don't know if it's like moving around traffic or whatever, but he is sitting on 14 OTs right now.
Jeez.
Oof. Speaking of OTs, Corey Lobner is off track. And Lucy Goosey all the way through the last corner.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Let's see where
Which
he's
that corner exit can be pretty treacherous too if you go too far off. It can be very bumpy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely just fantastic save though, as that car wanted to spin on him.
That could have ended so much worse.
Take a quick look back. Battle for the lead still raging on. Vince LaRue getting the 157s, the 157.99. I think the fastest we've seen all race at this point. Jack Wilkins also setting a personal best for a 158.07. And these two have an 8-second gap to Jaden Ledbetter and another 16 seconds between Jaden and Gian Cardoso.
Ooh, we got Stephen Wallace and Tyler Torville getting into each other. Coming through the carousel.
Boy.
No, turn 8. Damn.
Yeah, Tyler Torville listed as off track here. Let's see what happened here.
Which is bad for Tyler's race. Tyler was in it. And then,
he gets pit turned by Stephen Wallace. I don't know that was intentional. I want to look at it one more time if I can.
They have been battling. I've been watching this battle. They had Potts and Nolan next to him coming through 5. Right. And then they came up to here, and I think he just tried to squeeze back in and got pit maneuvered.
I want to see.
That's unfortunate, man.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, he's not turning in yet, so I think that's just...
I don't know exactly where he went in, but it is not exactly where that car... Yeah, not where Stephen Wallace wanted to turn that car in.
Yeah.
So GT3s, I think, in for their first pit stop of the night, along with the big handful of GT4s as they reach their natural, I think, pit cycle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now we got the leaders of the LMP3s coming in as well.
Oh, man. This
pit road's about to get really busy.
Yeah, pits are going to be super busy with multi-class racing on track. It's going to be kind of wild with all these cars filtering in and out of the pits, especially with the speed differential between LMP3s and the slower classes.
Yeah, we'll have to see where they all shake out here. Do I have a good pit lane cam? I do, kind of. Kerry Nolan, Brandon Potts coming out of pit lane. Kerry Nolan, I think, winning that pit lane battle. Yeah, they're dueling off that drag race. And they are the winners of that one. The rest of the field all pretty much filtering out there. I'm kind of keeping an eye on this battle for the lead of LMP3s.
I just saw an LMP3 pop back into pits. I wonder if...
No, I think it was Vincent LaRue. Vincent LaRue losing the pit battle. Not by much, though. 2 seconds of travel time between those drivers.
I mean, that's pretty significant. The on jack time was huge. What I think happened is he was just at a disadvantage because he followed Jack Wilkins into the pits, which means he's kind of like at the mercy of whatever Jack does in terms of like breaking for the pit line.
Yeah,
I think that might have just caught him out, and that probably was probably enough to generate that 2 second delta.
Yeah. With the rest of the field, rest of the LMP3s working their way in to pit lane. Ethan Hamlet also joining those LMP3 drivers that have not pit yet, going a lap longer than the rest of the LMP3 field. Talk about pit lane strategies, but I believe that is Sean Sullivan, who also went an extra lap, who was in second for that. Tommy Kogan getting back into the fight with Brandon Potts and Kerry Nolan after getting that car put back together, have an early pit stop, meaning he'll probably have to have a bit of a longer pit stop later on. And who is Mark Coyne chasing down Scott Fleming, or vice versa, as they get through the pit cycle.
Does look like we got a couple late pits. Sean Sullivan, one of the last GT3s to go in. We've also got Stephen Wallace, Corey Lobner, Jameson Leckenby, all going in late as well.
Gotcha. Making that fuel strategy work.
Yeah, just looking at the winners and losers, LMP3 category. I think the big ones are, Jack Wilkins with the 1 minute 1.33 for pit lane travel time, with pretty reasonable time on the jacks. Just taking advantage of that 103.38. I mean, almost 2 second delta, 2 minute 0.15 delta, or 2 second point, 2.15 seconds. I'm gonna get my words out here in a minute. That delta between him and Vincent LaRue. I mean, that's a lot of time to be left on the table, and that's gonna Vincent's gonna have a hard time trying to claw that advantage back throughout the lifespan of this race. GT3s, Ethan Hamlet, to no one's surprise, 1 minute 22, 1 minute point one, or 1 minute. Yeah.
Yep.
1 minute 1 second 0.22, and then so that was both him and Retro Coffin had exact same time on the jacks of 22.25.
Yeah.
The biggest winner though, Kerry Nolan, in the Stang, 1 minute 0.82 with a 21.25 on the jacks. So he's making up some advantage in the pits. Big winner for Kerry Nolan.
Yeah, I see he leapfrogged Brandon Potts. Now the two of them also being joined by Tommy Kogan in this battle for what is essentially 5th overall. If I can pull out my battle box for position, I think we should see the three of those and where they're at in that overall fight.
Yep. It does look like we have a lot of cars that decided not to go for tires. So in the GT3 category, Tommy Kogan, Anthony Newman, looks like the only 2 GT3 runners that elected not to go for tires. In GT4, we've got Tanner Schiffner and Eduardo Zamora both electing not to go for tires. Tanner Schiffner's pit stop, actually kind of weird. I'm thinking it's got to be an SDK bug. 48.37 seconds pit lane travel time. That's blistering.
That's what I have on mine as well.
Yeah, 6.57 on the jacks.
He's got 11 laps on his stint. Remember, he got caught up in that wreck, so he had to pit, and he is just clawing back now.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense then, because that was a fast pit stop. And here he goes. He actually goes into pits now to get his first scheduled stop.
Vincent LaRue still about a second behind Jack Wilkins as well. And the Mark Coyne Scott Fleming fight not even close to over, as there's only a couple tenths between these two drivers. As they come across lap traffic of Lee Wu and I believe Eduardo Zamora. Lee Wu also having a very, I would say, almost later pit stop than the rest of the GT4 field.
Yeah, Tanner Schiffner and Todd Torville are going to be the last scheduled pit runners, but both of them have pits that were already off cycle. So Lee Wu really is the one who stretched it the farthest.
Oh, Vincent LaRue getting a good run here against Jack Wilkins, who had to lift a little bit going into the braking zone. And the kink. And you can see here the awkwardness of the GT3s and LMP3s as they go into the high-speed stuff, because the cars of the GT3s are just as fast, if not faster, than the LMP3s. But the downforce that the LMP3s get to employ makes that less of a fight. But the two of them still keeping it within a second of each other.
I was kind of curious if we go take a look at this. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
I was about to say that because I was like, I really would like to see what it's like from Brandon Potts, like seat as he's trying to chase down Kerry Nolan right now because
Well,
it
what's
is
that?
a close battle. Oh yeah, nice.
Driver's
Hitting the
eye,
helmet
let's
shot
go.
and yeah, going into the slowest braking zone on track here at turn 5. And man, he is right there with Kerry as they race up the hill now to Corvette and on the brakes into turn 6. Yeah, this is good stuff right here. A little bit of hesitation through turn 7, downhill now into turn 8. We've seen some pretty spicy moments here already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is good. That's a great shot. Especially gives people perspective on how long this right-hand corner is relative to the rest of the other corners on track.
Kink there. You can see the draft and how influential the draft can be, especially for these GT3 cars. You can see that gap that is closing between Brandon Potts and Kerry Nolan here as they get into Canada corner in the braking zone there. Fantastic exit for Brandon Potts by comparison to Kerry Nolan, who had a bit of a slow one. But he makes it up by being more confident in that final kind of mini kink before the last couple corners and the start-finish straight.
And they are letting it all hang out in terms of pushing the full limits of the track.
All three of these cars
right
within...
now.
Sorry. Three of these cars within 0.2. As they all continue around turn number 1, turn number 2. This little bend before turn number 3.
We are getting very close to individuals potentially be getting the DT because incident count at 20 and then every 10, and we've got cars with 18 off tracks.
Oh my gosh!
Let me guess, Ethan.
Ethan's right on the edge. Like he's got 18 off tracks. He's only got 2 more that he can spin.
Yeah,
But he also has 9 seconds up on retro coffin, so.
Oh yeah, that pit stop delta between those two, not really that far, if I'm honest, like a second, right? But Ethan, since he's pulled out of the pits, has just basically streaked off into the distance.
Right.
Tyler Torville having a great run here on Matt Pyle. Not enough to get around him for turn number 1, but looking to get back into the fight with Stephen Wallace, who's 7 seconds up the road from these two drivers after that unfortunate bit of a spin earlier on. Or at least reclaim that second place on the podium. So this is a car I want to see the onboard of. See the pace differential. You watch that LMP3 drive off to their left. Now, Logan, what should we be looking for as we're coming through these corners, as you're setting up for trying to make a pass? GT4 is a lot more rhythm, momentum based than the GT3s and LMP3s, even more so. What do we look for in terms of like waiting for that right moment to make the pass and make the lunge for it?
Just wait for the mistake, I think. I mean, I couldn't tell you right now. They look like they're both holding up pretty well. Same car, same amount of power. It's all going to come down to if one of them screws up, that's going to be the window to pass them.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The momentum when you it's kind of like what we saw before when you were looking at that battle that we were watching with
we got
with Kerry
Bruno
Nolan.
Clemente around.
Oh, Porsche's doing Porsche things.
Yeah.
No, I think he might have gotten into it with Aston Martin.
Eduardo Zamora.
Yeah.
I see both him and Bruno Clemente going off track. All right, let's take a quick look at that, and then we'll see where they end up.
Oh, and we also have Lee Wu off.
Oh. Bruno Clemente not getting quite enough space there. And then that car.
Yeah.
They keep it together.
That is the thing you gotta remember about this. It's like, and I feel for Bruno about it. But the thing is that you're passing on the outside of a car that has less downforce than you. It's tough. It's just tough because you can get that understeer, and then it's all kind of over from there. Kind of like what we're seeing right now with Jameson.
Yeah, he gets that car. I feel like we just saw it with Corey Laubner a couple laps earlier, but keeps that car going the right direction.
Yep. It's tough. It's tough.
Battles across the timing tower continue to rage on. Battle we have for second here between Tyler Troville and Matt Pyle. I think he's linking up, trying to pushing him to get time back to Stephen Wallace. Both of them running faster lap times than Stephen is at the moment. Further up the order, Brandon Potts getting around Kerry Nolan. Vincent LaRue trying not to get into the side of Brandon Potts as this battle for P1 in the overall continues. The gap really stretching out as a result of that, though, and the amount of concession Vincent had to make to not run into Brandon Potts on the exit of turn number 1. Anthony Hutchinson, I think, also back into the fight with Austin Green for third overall. I feel like we saw this play
again.
Out. Yeah. We saw this play out in the sprint. We're going to see how it plays out in the feature now. So we are 30 minutes in, almost 40 minutes in, of our 2 hours of racing in this feature race.
2 hours here at Road America. Corner exit from Hutchinson. Looks like Green touched a little bit of the runoff area. The exit of Canada corner. It's going to give Hutchinson a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, navigating through the traffic and stuff like that right now definitely seems to be the challenge here at Road America.
There's a look from Austin Green. He tucks back in, though, behind Anthony Hutchinson to not compromise his own line. Goes around Jameson Leckenbecky, now looking on the inside. Turn number 3 has to not run into the back end of that. Keeps that car moving in the right direction, just right on the rear end of that Porsche. Kerry Nolan getting around Brandon Potts, too wide as they go in to turn number 2 and turn number 3. Kerry having the inside line. Brandon Potts trying to get the way. Tommy Kogan almost getting to the back end of Brandon Potts there. The three of them keeping those cars moving the right direction. An unfortunate choke up for Brandon Potts, costing him the momentum and the position for the moment. Jaden Ledbetter in the rear of that shot, trying to get around all of these drivers. Still 12 seconds behind the front two of Vincent LaRue and Jack Wilkins. Another 16 seconds ahead of Gian Cardoso. The LMP3 field, I think, is pretty much spread out sans our front two drivers.
Yeah, and it's really wild watching Jack and Vincent go at it for this long right now. We're 42 minutes into this race, and they are still toe-to-toe.
Oh, this is going to be a tough spot for Vincent LaRue. I think we're going to see him push on the outside here, and he's going to have to figure out how to get around William Lewis, and that's going to cost him a lot of time because Jack is just ahead of him and free of all of these GT4 AM drivers. He's still driving with them, so a bit of a gap building between those two drivers as he tries to navigate this traffic without killing them or himself. Bruno Clemente listed as going off track again, loses it in the carousel a second time, pulls it back on track, or just tows it? I think he just tows it.
No, he just tows it. I think he might just be done. A tough race for Bruno, man. Mm-hmm. Hate to see it. Hope he comes back to Navarra and does what he does and puts on a show for everybody.
That is my hope. Had some fantastic driving earlier in the season. We'll see how it plays out for him beyond Road America. Seeing the gap now down to up to 3 seconds. That is how much time Vincent lost to Jack Wilkins there in the traffic.
It's huge. That's a huge amount of time, but still lots of racing action to go. I mean, we still have an hour and almost an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 17 minutes left.
Plenty of time for these drivers to make up the positions they were just battling for. Kind of want to see, if I look at Vincent LaRue, I dive into our lap time marker here. Jack Wilkins overall running a little bit faster than Vincent LaRue, again having less traffic to deal with and at more opportune times, but that gap also having to be dealt with as he gets into the kink with GT3 traffic, which GT3 traffic's a little bit of an awkward one. Again, GT3s are just as fast, if not faster, than the LMP3s here at Road America, and trying to get around them is hard, especially in these last couple corners here. But he's also creating an inadvertent roadblock for Austin Green in this battle for P3 in class, and all this is costing time back to Vincent, so that 5-second gap just got built has been wiped away in one lap future as GT4s are also in this mix. We go 3 wide down the start finish stretch. Oh my goodness, 3 different battles going on in this shot right now. P1 for LMP3, P3 for GT3, P2 for GT4 Pro.
Good Lord.
It's a busy track.
They all got through it pretty well, though.
So far, so good. Vincent LaRue, now the last one to arrive on scene to get through that, ideally with a better amount of pace. It is interesting to see the GT3s be just as fast as the LMP3s here.
It's pretty crazy. That said, I do believe we've had some drive-throughs. I think Matt Hughes won. I'm noticing Ethan Hamlin has 26 off tracks, but he's still out in front of Retro Coffin to the tune of 12 seconds.
Could be how it gets classified.
Maybe. I mean, he also could have just been ahead and just pulled it and then come back out with a little bit of time still left between him and Retro Coffin. That was so close. It looked like that AMG was totally about to wash into him.
Oh, yeah. Vincent LaRue trying to get around some of these GT3s. Unfortunately, a little bit hard for him. These GT3s are going to speed back up to about the same pace, if not faster, than what he's running at the moment. And so he's kind of locked in for the moment. Once again, trying to get through this traffic as best as he can without losing too much time. It's going to be hard, though, when GT4s box him in.
Ooh.
And that was a touch with Anthony Hutchinson, and I believe that was Matt Pyle. No, excuse me, not Matt Pyle.
That was Steve Wallace, I believe.
Steve Wallace. Wow. Now the gap remains at 5 seconds. You can see that how similar they are in pace. You see Anthony Hutchinson now catching back up to the LMP3 as they find the path. The speed differential is not there between these two classes at this track.
Watching right now just to see when we might get some other drive-throughs. I actually just heard
Mark Coyne's in right now.
Yeah, Mark Coyne. Although I think he's in for
a scheduled stop.
Purposes.
Yeah, he's got 12 laps on it since the last stint. So yeah.
And Anthony Newman as well, both diving in to the pit lane for scheduled stops here. The gap still staying around 6 seconds for the leaders. And Anthony Hutchinson and Austin Green still duking it out, but Austin Green looking really shaky there. Those tires are very warm.
Makes me wonder if anyone took any of the GT3s took tires.
In the last stop, all of them took tires with the exception of 2 people. I believe that would have been Anthony Newman and Tommy Cogan, but Tommy Cogan's already come back through the pits a second time, and he definitely took tires the second time through.
Heard.
Yeah, 53 minutes, almost 54 minutes have elapsed here at round number 4. 2 hours at Road America. Guys, how you guys hanging in there?
Gosh.
Oh, there's a lot going on everywhere right now.
It doesn't stop. It is all racing all the time. We're watching this battle for P3 with Anthony Hutchinson, Austin Green. Closest battle on track as these two duke it out, trying to find the way around each other. 17 seconds ahead of Kerry Nolan. Austin Green having a great run, but having to not run into Anthony Hutchinson, who is currently, I think, trying to, keep those tires in a good window. Other battles on track. Tyler Tourville finally getting around Matt Pyle. William Lewis and Christopher Blue also duking it out for GT4M leadership.
Yeah, this feels like such an effort for everybody that's still running right now. 2 hours. I mean, you're looking at what, 4 stops?
I'm guessing
easily.
so.
For these guys?
Yeah.
I think easy.
25 minutes was our first major pit stop. We should be seeing our next major set of pit stops here within the next couple of minutes as we're coming on the 50 minutes of racing elapsed timer on my end. And so easily 4 stops. Should be a pretty solid 4 stops, though.
We got
one.
Gian and Stephen Wallace off in 8.
Oh, Gian Cardoso, Stephen Wallace also listed as off track. Let's see what happened here from Stephen Wallace's perspective. He tries to turn in Gian Cardoso. Oh, that is unfortunate for both of them. Oh, Scott Fleming, great heads-up awareness.
That's just a chain reaction.
Yeah. A unfortunate thing. I want to look at it again from Gian Cardoso's point of view. Let's see what the roll bar looks like. You see him alongside these two, tries to turn in on him, bumps him, and then just has nowhere to be without running into that car.
That's an unfortunate racing incident.
Yeah, I don't know where I would put that car to have a different result, but that front corner looks only a little smudged up, so racing looks like it'll continue. Kerry Nolan diving into pit lane, I believe, for his second pit stop, one of our early pit stoppers, alongside Stephen Wallace, who I believe is in for a scheduled pit stop as well.
Ooh, we got Stephen Wallace with a black flag.
Oh.
And he has
contact is probably going to... Yeah, if he's pitting, it's not going to clear it, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
So is it a pit lane? Is it we'll have to see. Could be a stop and hold of 40 seconds for a pit lane speed violation. I didn't see him have a black flag going into this. William Lewis also diving into pit lane. See how long Stephen Wallace is in the box for.
He's still sitting there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We just elapsed 30 seconds. He has a 40-second hold, probably.
Be my guess, but we'll have to see here. Depending on how many tires he took, it is about a 30-second pit stop if you take all 4 tires.
He's still sitting there 15 seconds in.
Yeah, that's going to be, I believe, that stop and hold for him. Christian Julian, Retro Coffin into pit lane as well from LMP3 and GT3, respectively. These battle for P3 and GT3 still going strong as both of them dive into pit lane trying to duke it out. I wonder if either of them get caught for speeding violations. It doesn't look like it, but it looks like Austin Green almost rear-ended Anthony Hutchinson. Jaden Ledbetter also in. Scott Fleming also in as well.
Yeah, so again, the critical thing here is going to be trying to minimize your mistakes when it comes to the pit stops. There's so much time to gain if you can execute on your pit stops relative to your competitors. Just looking right now as I'm watching these timers, Jaden Ledbetter, one of the early stoppers, coming in now for his second. Waiting to see what he gets in terms of his full time on the jack. So 20.83. Very good. Wow. Look at him running him right up to the wall there on exit. These two are going to be, these two are just no holds barred right now. It is kind of wild.
Yeah, it has been almost an hour of them two duking it out for P3, and I think that's not going to change.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking literally 2/10 between them in pit lane travel time.
Ethan Hamlet finally getting passed by the leader of LMP3. We are almost an hour in.
And they are both in the pits.
Vincent also diving in pit lane, along with Matt Hugh.
Just watching some more of the times.
We have Anthony Hutchinson around. Probably cold tire Porsche things.
We'll have to see. Pushes it here. Yeah, just pushes it a little too hard.
Exactly what happens. Yep. And that is going to bring the Austin Green battle to an end. Going to have to come back out on track and frustrating end. But again, it's going to be down to.
Do we have?
Hang on. Oh, hold up. Vincent LaRue jumped the pits.
Oh no. Oh, he ran out of fuel.
Oh no.
Oh, he pushed it to the end and then ran out of fuel. That is unfortunate. That's going to be some level of tow time.
Yeah.
That is going to take him out of it. So it's going to be Gian Cardoso now with the closest striking distance. Now Jaden Ledbetter to Jack Wilkins. He's going to be on an island after that pit stop.
That he more or less is. I believe we have a bit of a raid from someone in chat.
What?
Oh, let me check it out.
Yeah.
It's Nocturnal Gaming.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Appreciate the raid.
Thank you for the raid. Hope you're having a good evening. We are 56 minutes into 2 hours of a feature race for LMP3, GT3, GT4 multi-class racing at Road America. Your leaders in class of each one, respectively, Jack Wilkins on a lovely 16-second island to P2 of Jaden Ledbetter, and Scott Fleming now inheriting P3 after the pit cycle from Gian Cardoso. And in GT3, Ethan Hamlet leading Retro Coffin and Austin Green. Two more battles that are also come to an end. GT4 Pro, Lee Wu leads Corey Lobner and Tanner Schiffner. Still has to do the pit cycle for Lee Wu, so I believe that'll put Tanner Schiffner back in the lead of this race. Excuse me, we'll put, I think, Matt Pyle in the lead of this race at the end of that, because he also has to come in for a pit cycle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then GT4AM, Jameson Lekenby, one of those 15 ways I've said it tonight, is currently ahead of Christopher Blue and Eduardo Zamora. He will also have to be due for pit stops. So after the pit cycle, I believe Christopher Blue will inherit that lead once again. Now, what I'm really curious about is for these drivers that are running long on these fuel stops, how much that cuts off their time at the end.
I think that part's going to be critical. Like, again, you're going to want to make sure that you're maximizing your fuel usage, trying to run the lightest load that you can run within the reasonable amount of time to get to the end of the race, because less fuel, you'll run faster. Also, putting yourself in a position where you're actually putting less fuel in the car, spending less time on the jacks. And yeah, I mean, there's just all sorts of opportunities here to gain time, and we've seen it. We've seen it in the pit cycle, which, by the way, after the tow for Vincent, 1 minute 18.
Jeez.
That was a huge tow.
Unfortunate.
But yeah, just looking again at some of the others with really good pit cycle times. I mean, it makes such a difference, right? Like it kept the battle alive with Austin Green and Anthony Hutchins. It's keeping Tommy Kogan in this race. Like, I just feel like there's a whole host of opportunities where people are maximizing. Gian Cardoso kind of little out there in the wilderness there at turn 5, and that's going to put Mark Coyne up on his gearbox. But yeah, pit stops are going to be a big deal, and we're not done with them yet. We're almost to an hour, so we still got what, 2, potentially 3 more pit stops.
I think it's gonna be a solid 2 more for all these drivers, because we did one at around the 50-minute mark. We'll probably do another one at around a minute 15, and therefore we'll do another one probably at a minute 35. Or maybe you might be right. It might be a splash and dash at the end if we're doing 25-minute pit stops.
There's going to be a splash at the end for a lot of these guys. Of course, Mark Coyne, who knows, he may have saved a reserve tank somewhere and pulls it out at the last minute.
If there's anybody that has done... If there's anybody that has done the calculations and knows exactly how much to save to get there, it's Mark Coyne. If there's anybody that would like to save the gas and get to the end of the stint, it's Vincent LaRue. But, you know, you live and you learn. You live and you learn.
I think it's also deceptive how much uphill you have to do in the pit lane to get to your pit box, especially one of the first ones.
Yes. Yep. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah, still plenty of racing action to follow as we pass the hour mark. We're now in the back half of this race, and Mark Coyne is putting the pressure on Gian Cardoso.
Stephen Wallace has not come out of the pit lane since he came into that with the black flag.
That's unfortunate. He was having such a good run.
He absolutely was. The closest battle on track right now by a pretty healthy margin are these two drivers. We look at our battle box. We'll pull up the track map for you guys. A little more spread out than we saw it in the sprint race.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely going to see that, as LMP3s are going to get more than one opportunity to lap the GT3 field. And GT4s kind of are going to get the experience from both the faster class cars. It's going to be pretty stressful, but you got to keep your head mounted on a swivel. Lee Woo's in the pits finally.
Yeah. With a minute even, I wonder if Lee Woo is going to try to make it a 3-stopper.
That would be interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That would be very, very interesting. I'm going to go, since we're past that 1 hour mark, I'm going to take a brief step away and get some more water. And everyone at home, you should be hydrating as well. It's going to be a long one.
It is going to be a long one.
Wow. Be right back, gents.
Sounds like a plan. Logan, how do you usually manage and plan for longer endurance races like this one?
So I am still pretty new at endurance races. I pray. I don't plan. I haven't gotten the fuel saving down yet.
Gotcha.
I'm trying, but it hasn't worked yet.
That's very
While
fair.
lifting coast.
We're going to look at
A lot of
Jalen
lift and
Ledbetter.
coast.
Labeled as crash. Does he just self-spin? He does just self-spin.
Ooh.
Doesn't hit the wall. Doesn't have any problems. But loses even more time to Jack Wilkins. And that island that Jack Wilkins has built himself on continues to be a pillar. Well, not a battle for position. Tanner Schiffner, Jamison Leckenbecky in a duel right now for GT4 overall positions. You just throttle it and try to figure out the fuel strategy as you go, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. That is absolutely what I do.
That
Still
is
new
strategy.
to it.
That's fair. Endurance is a very different mindset, especially if you're trying to work out how to add, if you add a lap per stint towards the end of the race, how much that gains you.
I do know if I'm trying to save, you got to start from the beginning and keep it up the entire race.
That is correct.
Or your whole fuel strategy will not work. I found that out in the 2-hour IMPC at Laguna last year.
Where you
damn near made it too.
Oh, nice. Almost.
I spun with 10 laps left to go, so I kind of boned myself there.
Very fair. Reminds me of the Mid-Ohio IMPC that happened, I think, 2 seasons ago now. I managed to pull off a one-stop there.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how I managed. I did nothing to plan for fuel saving, but I did over an hour stint on my first stint, and then I was like, oh, cool, I guess I'm good then, because it's only 2 hours.
Right.
So, yeah, it's always a very different thing for me to prep for any amount of endurance that's over basically an hour long. So, the full-length formula racing, all that stuff. It's never about initial raw lap pace. It's more about, keeping the car clean, because it'll always get you further up the order. You see, and that, plays out here, what we've seen with this race. And how these drivers are the drivers that have had the least number of incidents, either that be, spins, fuel problems like we saw with Vincent LaRue, incidents with other drivers are the ones that are currently leading the class by, these healthy margins of 25 seconds for the leader of LMP3, 12 seconds. I mean, Brett Croft and Ethan Hamlin has just been a war of pace and overall speed. Ethan Hamlin always kind of being on his own island. This battle
Where
here
is Ethan currently at on incidents?
I have him
thing.
marked down as 19 on my end. I think it's a little bit more on Phil's board, and I don't know if that's the official. I think somebody might be able to see that besides me. Gene Cardoso getting an off track there.
See
somebody else see. Oh, Mark Coyne now almost alongside Gene Cardoso here. These two still duking it out. For P5 in class.
Everyone is just legged out in there.
Gian has a slowdown.
Doesn't look like it compared to him being in the draft right now.
Well, maybe he served it by the time he had, because he did have to. It did look like he lifted.
That's possible.
When Mark Coyne was alongside, either to let him by or because of the lift, and that was all he needed.
Yeah, that might have been that might have been it. Yeah.
But
welcome back, Bill.
Running away with it.
I'm here.
We have. Oh no, I forgot John was way down.
Yeah, John having a bit of a recovery race. Like a few individuals here. Currently only had 3 drivers, or sorry, total 5 drivers not will not be taking the checkered flag. Todd Tourville, our last driver on track at the moment, who is about a lap behind John Newman. John Newman on a bit of a recovery race after that incident earlier on with turn number 6 at the start of the feature race.
Yeah.
Field's pretty spread out now. So now we turn it over to kind of the analytics side of things to look at who's doing what and where and what those numbers are going to look like, which is, I know, one of your favorite things, Phil, to do in racing, or in the commentary booth, I should say, is look at numbers.
Yeah, I mean the numbers for me right now that I'm looking at, what I'm super focused on right now is these off tracks, because these off tracks are going to start being very impactful because again, the drivers are getting 50 for this race. After 50, they're going to get the DQ, but yeah, for some of the black flags that we've already seen. I still haven't seen Stephen Wallace come out of the pits, so I think he's probably retired the car for this race. He's been sitting there for 16 minutes.
Jeez, yeah.
That's unfortunate because he's having a really good race. So
yeah,
it's just really unfortunate. But I mean, we've got folks sitting on 27 off tracks. So these are people that have already served a DT, and they're going to get another one here soon. So, because you're going to get one every 10 off tracks now to the end of the race until you hit 50, and then you just get shown the door.
Right. I know there was talk in the voting section about increasing the number of incidents for longer races, but we decided to keep it at 50 for the longer ones.
It's tough. I mean, it's asking a lot of the guy. Whoa, that was definitely a wild moment there for Austin Green.
Yeah, Austin
was that
Green.
Anthony Newman?
No, that was Austin Green, I think, trying to get around
Tyler Torville.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty crazy. So other things to talk about from like an analytical side. Everybody took tires this pit stop cycle. So I'm kind of curious if the folks that did not do the fuel stop early on in the race, which would be a majority of the field took tires first go round.
Yeah.
There were only a handful of people that didn't take tires on first go round. I'm really kind of curious if a chunk of the field are going to basically forego tires for that last pit stop, and if so, what that's going to mean in terms of how the order is going to shuffle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my takeaways so far from an analytical perspective.
Yeah. Let's see where those off tracks and how much, because it's not a short pit lane either, because you're usually going at such a high speed through that section, and then to go at, I believe it's 45 miles an hour here at Road America for these drivers. It is a huge change in the pace and how much time you lose in on a lap where you're not planning on being in the pit lane anymore.
Yep.
Than one of your scheduled pit stops. Kerry Nolan setting... Sorry, not Kerry Nolan. Sean Sullivan setting his fastest lap of the race on his in lap. Another driver off cycle, I believe, as a result of one of the incidents earlier on. As this battle between Brandon Potts, Kerry Nolan heats back up. And Kerry Nolan getting the nose almost chopped off as Christopher Blue tries to take the racing line.
Ooh, and we got Torville.
Todd Torville.
Around.
Yeah, I think we got a big crash.
William Lewis also off track there. Let's take a quick look and see what happened there. This was just behind the cars we were looking at just a moment ago. And he just loses it into turn 3 and tries to get it going again. Successfully does so. Okay, well, what happened with William Lewis?
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. Oh, separate. Somewhere else on the track, William Lewis also has an off track as a result of a wide line through the final corner, and they weren't related. So that's lovely to see. Both of them get those cars going back the right direction. No harm, no foul. Mark Coyne, I believe, being chased down by Benjamin O'Shea, another newcomer to, I believe, track limits.
Benjamin O'Shea currently has a black flag.
Oh, currently has a black flag. I wonder if it's for incident limits.
I mean, he just passed 21, so I think so.
Yeah.
it's 20 is your first one, and then it's every 10 after, right? Up to 50?
Correct. Yep.
Gotcha.
Matt Hugh, black flag.
Matt Hugh, another individual. So these two, Mark Coyne ceding the position, I think, because he knows that that car is going to have to go in. Brandon Potts also in. Is this scheduled?
For Brandon Potts, I believe this would be pit stop number 3.
Yeah, he's an early pit stop driver, so I believe this is a scheduled pit stop.
Can we
I
just
think he might
say?
be trying to undercut it.
Can we just say something very uncharacteristic of the field? Brandon Potts currently sitting on one off track.
That does not
fantastic.
surprise me. We are on the same. We're all part of the same endurance team. That does not surprise me at all.
Compared to some weeks, I love to see it.
Yeah. Indeed. So yeah,
And especially when the rest of the field is very, very heavily getting off tracks.
Right.
Mark Coyne diving in along with Benjamin O'Shea, who has to serve that black flag.
Yeah, O'Shea only has 9 laps on his stint.
Oh, John Newman, I think, getting caught out on this final corner. Yeah, just loses it into the front there. And he
is unfortunate.
gets that car going the right direction, but has put that car into pit lane to get it fixed back up once again. And now,
Mark Coyne, Benjamin O'Shea on the jacks. Let's see who's faster.
well, Benjamin O'Shea, I think, is just going through that drive-through. So
Oh yeah,
he's
so
back
Benjamin
out.
O'Shea.
he's
Yeah,
already
he's already
out.
back out. Meanwhile,
Tommy-
we're waiting to see. Go ahead, sir.
I say Tommy Kogan also in. Waiting to see how long Mark Coyne is going to be in the box.
21.77. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty quick for this field.
Mhm.
Not the fastest, but definitely quick. Tommy Kogan in as well.
And Scott
He's on a bit of a
Fleming,
recovery drive, right? After having that front end issue in his battle with, I believe it was with Austin Green.
Tommy Kogan, yes. That was with
Yeah.
Austin Green and Anthony Hutchinson at that moment, as well as Bruno Clemente, which is where that incident, I believe, actually occurred in terms of the damage. It's with him. Anthony Newman also in. Scott Fleming has whittled down the gap between himself and Jaden Ledbetter down to 9 seconds.
Yeah,
Pull out
the
the
gap
lap
continues to
time.
come down. Jack Wilkins currently got a pretty solid gap on Jaden. Vince LaRue not out of this, man. He's still on the hunt, chasing down Gian Cardoso for 4th place.
Yeah. And if you look at the lap times, up until its most recent one, Scott Fleming, over the past 5 laps, has increased his time between all these drivers, or between himself and Jane Ledbetter, from a whole second to a few other tenths. So, very possible that he increases his time here. Tommy Kogan now fighting along with Sean Sullivan. Sean Sullivan still needs to take a pit stop, but for the moment, 2 of them are battling it out.
Sean Sullivan 4/10 back from Tommy Kogan. Does look like the Porsche's having a little bit of wash on corner entry into carousel.
Oh, yeah, I wonder if it's something with the dirty air from that Corvette
Could be.
making that car, which already has a pretty light front end by comparison to some of the other GT3s with where that engine placement is. That gets even lighter as the downforce doesn't push it down at all. Or as
Fun
much, I should
fact.
say.
So favorite GT3 car for me, BMW M4. Favorite non GT3 car, and it's an old one.
BMW M4.
Nope.
Oh.
Mhm.
It is the Porsche 911 RSR GTE.
Fair.
A fantastic machinery. I miss the GTEs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see this
That
pit
seems to be
cycle.
what the general consensus is on the GTEs.
About a second faster in the pit box to Kerry Nolan and his battle with Brandon Potts.
Torville just went off again.
Oh. So Scott Fleming, about 7 seconds between Brandon Potts and Kerry Nolan then after the pit cycle.
I just noticed that Kerry Nolan is from Jamaica, driving the Mustang. Well, congrats for driving the Mustang, sir, but you are not going to be... it was incorrect of me to call you a member of Team Bald Eagles and Light Beer. But,
I mean, Bald Eagles and Light Beer is a state of mind. If you drive a Mustang, I think you fall
yeah,
into
that is
category.
true. That is true. Yeah. That's true.
Mustangs
But,
and Mustang things.
Yep. But Kerry Nolan from Jamaica. So, again, Track Limits Racing International. We're going worldwide.
Ooh, battle here, I think, for position. That's Tanner Shepard getting
Lee
around
Wu
Lee Wu.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now move him up into 4th place.
See, again, both these guys are, I think, on a little bit of a different fuel strategy than the front runners in front of them. Tanner Shepard coming in on lap 25, Lee Wu on lap 26. I'm curious if they're both trying to make it a 3-stopper. Gene Cardoso trying not to kill another GT4 in turn number 8. Seems to be successful this time by. Todd Tourville also back in pit. I think we already mentioned this. Back in pit lane, getting that car put back together. William Lewis
is out 28.13. So slower stop relative to the rest of his GT4 compatriots, but back out on track. Going to try and regain some positions.
That he
Christopher
is.
Blue, man, 42 seconds.
Ahead of Jameson
That is-
Leckenby.
Yeah, that is. I'm wondering what's happened here. Like, is Christopher Blue just pitting like super late in comparison to Leckenby? No. Also, like Ethan Hamlet was like what 15 seconds ahead of Retro Coffin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Retro Coffin, to be fair, did just go into pit lane. So. And Ethan Hamlet also set the fastest lap this time by.
Good Lord.
As we watch these two fight it out, Lee Wu trying to hang on with Tanner Schiffner. As Vincent LaRue slowly works his way back up the order. 18 seconds ahead, or behind, Gene Cardoso before the pit cycle.
Like O'Shea's in the pits this time, and this time it's for actual service on the car.
Fantastic. I believe Austin Green and the Hutchinson also in. Jack Wilkins also diving into the pit lane.
Followed by Jaden Ledbetter.
Yeah, he's also in. So, Gene Cardoso, Vincent LaRue, the last two to make their pit counts of the LMP3 field. Ethan Hamlet also in for his 3rd stop. I'm going to believe we're going to be a 4-stop race tonight.
Chris Blue's in the pits, and Jaden Ledbetter has a black flag.
Oh, no. Was it for speeding in pit lane?
Possibly. It just came up on my ticker. He is already in the pit lane, so yeah, I think it is for speeding.
Yeah. See that car sitting.
21.9. Yep, went right past.
Yep. So Gian Cardoso now in third place or in second as a result of merely not getting a drive-through or having an issue with fueling. As Vincent LaRue is also in for a pit stop. I don't think he's risking any more of trying to stretch that drive out. And so we'll see.
We are at 35 minutes, 36 minutes left. So
Mark Coyne gets
splash and
around
dash.
Vincent and Jaden. Jaden's getting out on track before Vincent will. Jaden in the pit box for a minute.
Yeah, that 40-second stop and hold for speeding in pit lane is really did in his, I think, run for position. Or I think driving along with Li Wu, Matt Pyle, who are duking it out for position at the moment. Matt Pyle already in from his third pit cycle, and Li Wu still needing to serve his third one. Poor Scott Fleming trying to get around both of these cars. And given no room from Li Wu.
Yeah, it looks like Stephen Wallace is calling it, sending out his regards in chat for folks that he got tangled with. But good dude. Hoping he's going to come back for Navarra. We'll see him back to his quick ways in GT4.
Yeah, Matt Hugh, I think, also parking it for the evening. As his hand.
It says he said, unfortunately, his hand had enough of it.
So.
Oh, you were about to say that. Sorry, Finn.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yep.
We got there.
Chat, but yeah, definitely take care of yourself. And yeah, hoping to see these guys come back next week. So.
Yeah, we got another fantastic track. Navarra, I think, is very underrated.
Yeah,
I think we'll talk about it.
I'll be watching the stream. Will not be doing the commentating. I will be on a trip. So
nice.
Should be interesting to follow along. Navarra is a fun course. I do think it is underrated. But yeah, and also just really excited to see what the standings are going to be like going into round 5, because it looks like things are going to shake up just a bit.
Yeah, I think a fair margin between round 4 and round 5. I've seen if I can hold out, but right before we get into the last half hour, I think I'll make my own water call real quick for a moment. So,
yep, no worries.
I'll leave this broadcast in your capable hands. I'll be back in just a second.
Excellent. Absolutely. Yeah, we got a little bit of time left. A little bit of time. One more.
Hour.
Yep, one more pit stop. Definitely going to be in the cards for a majority of the field.
Li Wu may get lucky and be able to stretch it out.
Yep, he might. He might have pulled a sleeper strategy on folks.
Right. But not surprising me. The guy has had pace since the beginning of the season.
Yep. We were talking before about people. It looks like the entire field took tires.
Again?
Yeah. I think it's going to be the last one. I think it's going to be if people are not going to take tires, I think it's going to be that last stop, and I think it's going to be a majority of the field that's going to pull the trigger on that strategy. That's my call.
That seems pretty safe. I mean, the way it's been going, they're going to have 10 minutes left to go. Taking tires would be an absolute mistake with that little bit to go.
Because you got to get them up to temperature and everything, so it's gonna be tough. So we'll see.
Tanner Schiffer in the pit.
This is the late one for Tanner, relative to the field. He was already off cycle though, because I think he got involved in that collision with Stephen Wallace, and went back. I think took the fast repair, got back out on track. So, Jack Wilkins going into the sand trap a little bit.
Oof.
Jack Wilkins sitting on 26 off tracks, so he's at least done one Joker. But even so, man, 51 seconds ahead of Scott Fleming. Just taking a look at other folks with off tracks right now. Yeah. Although I think this client could be lying to me too. It also could be just like registering for me, but in reality, it's not the actual off track because there's some folks that are sitting on some pretty sizable numbers that I just don't believe. They can't be real.
Oh, we got a black flag on Christian Julian.
Yeah, that one seems legit.
Yeah.
Coming in to serve it as I return.
Lee Wu has still not pit. And there's 31 minutes left in the race. He may be trying to cut a stop out.
I think he's
So
successfully.
what I think he's doing. So here's what I'd be doing. Is if I'm going for that strategy, I'm basically gonna like coast it out until it's like I can take a full tank,
Right.
and guarantee get to the end, like, and then yeah, just basically undercut the field for the last time and then try and run it all the way to the end.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna see though. Looks like we might see some magic happen. We might
He
see
missed
some
the
magic.
pits, so he's gonna have at least 28 minutes in the tank when he leaves the pits.
Yeah.
So he has got. So he's at 20. His pit was at lap 26.
Mm-hmm.
We're on lap 44. Well, lap 44
Ooh,
relative.
Jack
I believe,
Wilkins.
but
Off in last turn.
he's done 38. He's done 38 laps total, and he pitted on lap 26. So that gives him what, 12 laps? That he's
Yeah.
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 Following along on this battle for P5 between Vincent and Jaden.
Both of them kind of out of place relative to the LMP3 field.
Yeah, both of them on a recovery drive of various sorts. One of them having to serve a stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane speed infringements or speeding in the pit lane. Vincent, unfortunately, did not have enough fuel to get to his pit box, so he stalled out mere moments from his own and had to get it towed, which takes way more time, even the 30 feet to the box.
Are you guys showing on yours that Leckenby is on wet tires?
Yes, I'm also seeing Jameson Leckenby on wet tires.
Okay. Got it.
I'm hoping that's an oopsie.
Yeah, he's got 13 laps on the tires. I can't believe it's the first time we're seeing this.
What happened to... Oh, I think he just got caught up with traffic. Julian Cardoso being chased down now by Jane Ledbetter and Vincent LaRue. This two-car battle becoming a three-car battle with the lead driver of GT3 caught up in this mix, which is always going to be an awkward one with how these cars get their speed. And he's going to probably run these drivers down, see if he can try to get, not intentionally, but see if he ends up accidentally trying to get back around one of them. Big difference is he has to slow down a little bit more than the LMP3s do, and that is where he will make up that time. Let's take a quick ride on with...
Oh, we got Lee Wu in the pits.
Yep.
Vincent.
And with an hour and 32 minutes elapsed on the clock, he went up on the jacks. So the fuel's going in the tank right now.
He is going to push that last tank, I feel.
I think he is. He came in from P2, I believe. So I think he could easily do that again.
Yeah.
So we're riding on board with these drivers. That's a wheel cam. In case you want to look at really specifically the front left car wheel. was kind of cool for an artsy shot, but
Yep. Track Limits Racing Sports Car Series. People show up for the art house racing films.
yeah, I mean, chat even said, "Man, it's a nice tire." So I think it's definitely something that we should prioritize including in our streams more often. Is a
we got our fingers on the pulse. We got our fingers on the pulse. What people want.
James and Lucky Becky, I think, realized he had wet tires on. Oh my gosh, and Vince LaRue lunging up the inside past Gian Cardoso. Trying to keep up with Jaden Ledbetter. Both of them getting around Gian, who now has the front row seat.
That can be his meatballed.
That can be his meatballed. Oh no. How do you get a meatball?
Well, he spent last pit stop. He was in there for.
Oh, he blew up the engine.
His engine is gone.
So
how the hell did he do that?
Unfortunate. How did that happen? Like he's moving down the pit lane.
Hold on. Let's ride in the cockpit.
And then he's in second gear.
Yeah, second gear.
The engine's already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh. Just a random blow up.
What happened? That is crazy.
Well,
I wonder if
left.
he had damage.
I wonder if he had damage that he was getting repaired. So let's look at the. What can we grab? It doesn't look like there's damage on the car from this angle. You know. And.
That's crazy.
We go to the roll bar.
Engine just went explosion. Engine explosion.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
Unfortunate for him. Brandon Potts has entered the pit lane.
I'm sure we're going to see.
Yeah, it's scheduled. It's scheduled because it ain't a black flag because the man's sitting on 3 off track.
Right.
So, yeah.
Splash and dash, and he's going to get out.
Yeah, it'll probably be close to a full fuel tank because he still has 25 minutes, and we saw most of these drivers come in around that time, or really half a full tank because they don't have a full fuel tank on these cars. Benjamin O'Shea setting his personal best.
Go ahead.
I was say Benjamin O'Shea setting his personal best, and Brandon Potts pit lap time or pit stop time.
17.35. So 57 seconds full travel time. Same deal with Kerry Nolan. Kerry Nolan, 20.9 on the jacks, 59.80 for pit lane travel time. So no tires for those guys. And we're gonna see how that works out for him towards the end. Same deal with I believe John Newman. Majority of the field, I think at this phase going to be not doing tires. Actually, no, John Newman I think might have taken tires because he was actually stationary for 38. I was reading the wrong person. 38.37 for his last stop. So Matt Pyle of Pile Driver Racing facing down the 02 of Tyler Torville. Mm-hmm. Still waiting to see what happens when the top 3 decide to take their pits relative, or top 4 relative to Lee Wu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these two currently duking it out for the lead of the race. Tyler Torville having a bit of an incident earlier, but the rest of the field, I think, in a similar boat. And then these two have had the best luck so far. Yeah, we have to see where Lee Wu cycles up to. Eduardo Zamora in as well. Tommy Kogan getting intermixed with these drivers. Oh, that's going to be, I think, a better run for Matt Pyle.
I do like the little sidecar cam. I feel like I'm in like one of those like old World War II motorcycles. A little car off to the side. Got my little helmet on.
Oh, I'm going to take a quick look at this battle for P4 between Vincent LaRue, Jaden Ledbetter. 22 tenths separate these two drivers.
And in the front shot, Should we play the music from Jaws? It's John Newman.
Oh, Vincent pushing it too wide with Jaden. Hard on the brakes, looking for that over-under. Vincent driving.
Run, John.
Getaway.
Oh, looks like Julian's off again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian Julian. Yeah.
Off in the background of that shot. John Newman. Sorry. Yes, John Newman. Trying not to get caught up in this. Has successfully not been killed by either Vincent or Jaden. I am not going to speak the words that get thrown around the chat on the Discord. But if you want to get in on this racing action, check us out on the Discord. It's a great place to get involved in all this. I think we're still currently on waitlisting a few drivers. I'm not 100% if we have a couple spots open or not.
Yeah, we had spots open before this round, but I think they filled up. But if you definitely want to be a part of the action, ! Discord.
Oh my goodness, Jaden really looking for that way around Vincent as they go into the final corner once again. Up a lap. Gonna be a good run here for Jaden. Let's see if he goes.
Anthony Newman is in for his final stop.
So Vincent playing the defensive game. Going into turn number 1. On the binders. Off the binders. It's a quick one for these LMP3 drivers. As we watch them two come around turn number 3. Turn number 2 is that weird little bend in the middle of that somehow.
It's not a turn. Don't blame. I don't believe you.
It gets quantified. Oh, my Vincent playing very defensively here. Oh, lock up from Vincent gives Jaden the open door.
James too.
Yeah. The position swaps hands once again. Matt Pyle still chasing down Tyler Torville. And Scott Fleming trying to get around both of them. Jameson Leckenbecky. Leckenby. Not Leckenbecky. Jameson Leckenby. Also, no, never mind. Excuse me. I was supposed to say he's in, but he's been in since the whatever.
Yeah. Just want to say to Jameson out there, we keep trying to say your last name because we care.
Yes. Trying to do it the right way.
We're trying to do it the right way. Like, we're messing it up in comical fashion because we're Muppets. But we try to do it right because we care.
The biggest Muppets sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mark Coyne diving in for his final pit stop. There's theoretically a car over that berm. There it is. Nope, never mind, it's gone. There it is. As Vincent LaRue, Jaden Ledbetter pass by him, still chasing each other.
Off.
Gian Cardoso's in.
Schiffner is off.
Tanner Schiffner and John Newman. I wonder if something happened here. Oh, I thought that looked like a John Newman getting into the rear end of Tanner Schiffner. Let's see. I'm going to give that one more look. Doesn't get classified as a crash.
John Newman.
Yeah, just laid on the
Newman
brakes.
now has a black flag.
Oh, yeah, that means.
Oh.
That means he's got the DT.
Yep. Because he pushed.
Unfortunate.
But it looks like, if I saw correctly, Tanner got away with it without crashing.
Right.
So I think he'll be okay. Oh.
Mark Coyne, Gian Cardoso back out on track.
David Schneider giving these two the room to keep duking it out. Jack Wilkins, meanwhile, at the front of the field, setting the fastest lap. A 157.85.
So Tanner Schiffner pits in front of Lee Woo. Lee Woo now up into, I believe that is P4? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. P4 overall. All of the front runners ahead of Lee Woo theoretically have to come in for a pit stop.
I think Lee Woo might just be getting to the phase where he might pull it off.
He's got to stick to that fuel plan.
Yeah, if he gets to the end of this race, he may have just like completely caught the field off guard.
I think it's very possible. Meanwhile, GT4 AM, we haven't seen much of them tonight in terms of an on-track battle, but now William Lewis trying to get around Eduardo Zamora in the closing stages. So,
good racing action between these two.
Absolutely, as they get
Tommy Kogan, Kerry Nolan, both in.
Yeah. Benjamin O'Shea, Christian Julian as well. A question I have, which I think I'm going to pose it largely at Nolan. Fucking Logan, excuse me. I deeply apologize. Apparently, it's Slampian hours now.
Yep.
Logan.
Yeah.
Final 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a Porsche trying to pass an Aston Martin. What is the play? Where do you look to try to make that move with that mistake, or where you're going to leverage the strengths of that Porsche Cayman over the Aston Martin?
4 through the carousel. That'd be the best section to do it at, because I've never driven the Aston, so I don't know what the turbo lag's going to be like that. But that Porsche gets through the turns pretty quick.
Gotcha.
That's what I would say
That's
too.
what I would do.
Use the agility of the Porsche to your advantage.
Yeah.
Aston Martin's a bigger car, heavier car. But yeah, that's kind of where I would be targeting. It's gonna be tough though, because I'm just looking at the pace delta between the two right now. Last lap was and actually William Lewis is going into the pits. So if Eduardo Zamora has already pitted for fuel and is good to the regs, then William Lewis isn't even in the fight for that with him. He's probably more in the fight with Dave Schneider.
That's how it is looking.
Interesting.
According to Chris Turner, crying is the only move.
Crying is the move. It is. Yep.
Scott Fleming also in for his final stop.
Yep. You really just kind of like you accept your fate, and you be sad about it, and then you move on and go to Navarra.
Word.
Very good. On track action at the moment.
When it comes to me though, like my tears, like I don't hold those back for any track. I'm gonna shed those everywhere. So, because I'm an equal opportunity crier. So,
perfect.
Jesus.
Oh man, we are down to the last 15 minutes of racing,
and you can tell.
And you can tell that we have been on broadcast for currently half an hour longer than most of the races go here at Track Limits Racing, and we still have 15 more minutes.
Yep.
Ugh.
And over the course of these last couple laps, Vincent LaRue getting plenty of time to Jaden Ledbetter here in the closing stages.
Sean Sullivan gets hit with a black flag.
Oh. Another black flag to the list of drivers who have received them. And these cars are far more spread out than we saw, I think, anywhere else in this race in terms of, and it's not really on track. On track, you can see how bunched up most of the field is to each other. But there's not for position. Everything's, laps apart.
So how far is Lee Wu from Matt Pyle right now? I'm just curious.
He is 22 and a half seconds from Matt.
So Matt pit pretty late relative to the folks in front of him. So
right,
he might be good to the regs right there. But the ones that I'm still looking at are Tyler Torville, Corey Lobner, Christopher Blue. Christopher Blue. Can we talk about Christopher Blue? Christopher We're going to talk about you, Christopher. Anyway, Christopher, he is currently 3rd overall in GT4.
Mm-hmm. Shot a hell of a clean run.
Jaden, when you watch this back, he's 3rd overall in GT4.
I feel like this is a coded message about.
It's coded. It's coded. Yep.
Meanwhile, Vincent LaRue taking the fastest lap, 157.74, a whole 10th faster than Jack Wilkins. I think, had he not run out of fuel, this would have been a much closer battle for the overall win.
Indeed.
But
Retro's in, Austin Green's in, Anthony Hutchins in. Anthony Hutchins and Austin Green to the end of the race.
got about
still going at it.
Well, they've got about 20 seconds separating them, so it's not quite the same race as it was earlier on.
Would you be interested to know that one is sitting on 30 off tracks and the other is sitting on 29?
Yes. That means both are dangerously close.
Yep. Vincent LaRue's sitting on 29 as well.
Oh, yep. And he's blinking just a little bit. There we go. These two driving in to the pit lane to do their final pit stops. We'll see who wins this pit stop duel. I'm going to keep on these two because it looks like it'll be pretty spicy. Well, I guess I'll go to a pit lane cam because apparently it just wants to show me not that. As Anthony Hutchinson comes out, I think a decent margin ahead of Kerry Nolan. Oh, Vincent LaRue wins the pit stop battle. Jaden Ledbetter.
Barely.
They both shot off the jacks like a missile.
Yeah, and they are back in it. Vincent LaRue, 9.75 to Jaden's 12.3.
Ethan Hamlin's in for his final pit stop. Tyler Torville also in for his final pit stop.
Okay.
Makes you wonder, though. Do you think Vincent guessed enough fuel this time?
I really hope so.
So Vincent, when you're watching this back, there's that check box that says auto fuel. You can make your mark on that box, and it will make all your hopes and dreams come true. And by hopes and I mean it'll put fuel in the car enough for you to get to the end, hopefully. Tyler Torville's out. He's ahead of Matt Pyle. It looks like Matt Pyle has yet to stop. Matt Pyle stopped early.
Yep.
Yeah. Christopher Blue's on his outlap now. He's leaving the pits. 12 seconds on the jacks. Is Lee Woo going to leapfrog Christopher Blue and get into 4th overall?
I don't think so. We see Christopher Blue free of the pit limiter just now. Oh, never mind.
Oh.
But it's close.
And just like that, Lee Woo up to 4th in GT4. Well, I mean, he was already 4th GT4 Pro, but now he's behind Matt Pyle to the tune 25 seconds. So Lee Woo, the fuel stoppage does look like it might have helped him out a little bit. He's just got to get to the end of this race right now, and he's currently at what?
9 minutes.
What would that be? 8 laps? 8 laps on that tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 laps.
And I think we spoke it into existence because Anthony Hutchinson back in pit lane, I believe, for a drive-through.
Jesus.
So I think a rough night going from bad to worse for him. And Corey Lobner still has yet to pit. He's currently in the lead of GT4 Pro.
Yep. Corey Lobner. Last pit stop was lap 36. He has 11 laps on this tank.
He will definitely be stopping.
Please LMP3s and GT4s don't touch.
He is in for his final stop as well. Probably a very fast slash and dash. Sean Sullivan
John
also.
Sullivan in the pits as well.
Okay.
John Sullivan's had a tough racing. Corey Lobner in. Oh, Tyler Torville, Matt Pyle getting the upgrade. Will they get ahead of Sean Sullivan?
No, it doesn't look like it. Not quite. Or, excuse me. Not until ahead of Sean Sullivan on lap pace.
Oh, yeah.
Corey Lobner, however, staying ahead of Lee Wu. Only barely.
Just barely. Yeah, just barely. So Torville and Matt Pyle both running really good strategies here at the end, catching Corey Lobner, trying to push deep, but Lee Wu still has to survive another. What is that? Yeah, man, he's got another 7 minutes. Boy, this is going to be down to the wire.
Yeah. Brandon Potts trying to get around Anthony Hutchison for P6. Currently successful. These two might have a bit of a fight on their hands. Anthony Hutchison just served the drive-through. Plenty of off-track room for him at this point, or at least ones he'd be less worried about.
10 points.
Yeah. But it's not a one.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Another thing to watch right now, Vincent.
Just got around Jaden.
He is he's trying to hang on in front of Jaden Ledbetter.
Yeah, I wonder if Jaden's now free of his...
Oh, and he's blinking. Oh man, that's scary.
That's
mildly
free of his fuels constraints, excuse me. And now can run a little bit faster than I think Vincent was maybe expecting.
Just going to point out that he is also sitting on 29 OTs.
Vincent is?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I think the client could be lying to me as well because you guys won't believe there's no way. There's no way. The client's got to be wrong because there's no way that Ethan Hamlet's sitting on 67.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, off. Definitely a slower exit out of that Canada corner for Jaden over Vincent LaRue.
Ooh.
Lee Wu.
Blue almost.
Oh, Blue had to not kill.
He got really loose coming out of the last turn. Got really loose. He caught it, though. That was a hell of a catch.
Yeah, as we get ticked down, we're less than 5 minutes to the end, boys. We're almost there.
Oh, my goodness.
We're in the home stretch.
We are in the home stretch. These two for the lead.
That delivery.
So
that was the best, man. We are in the home stretch.
We are in the home stretch. Oh. Jaden Ledbetter going side by side with Vincent LaRue into turn number 5. Vincent LaRue, Jaden forcing the issue on the outside.
I was like,
a little bit of a lockup.
Jaden. Are we about to see a broadside? You about to hit him on the starboard bow?
We have investigated ourselves and found we did nothing wrong.
Yep.
Scott Jack Wilkins setting a new fastest at a 157.27. This race has officially become a night race in terms of iRacing. It believes it is nighttime. So, in the closing few minutes, the lights come on. 2.2 tenths between Jaden Ledbetter and Vincent LaRue as they get around Corey Lobner. Oh, sketchy.
Yeah. So what you're telling me is all 10 lights in Elkhart turned on at the track.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
All 10 lights turned on there. And we'll see how far we go. Rest of the field separated by a little over a second. We're kind of hanging out with this battle on track, but I was going to say, Matt Pyle, Tyler Torville, still within about a second of each other. Austin Green, I think, in the mix of this, or is that Anthony Newman? Let me find out. That is going to be Austin Green. I had it right the first time. Separating them two and making that a little bit harder.
Austin Green in the M4 getting up into P3 and GT4.
Very nice.
He had to work for that.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
He really had to work for that. And he's got some space on, I believe, got some space on Tommy Kogan right now.
Yeah,
28 seconds.
9 seconds.
Yeah, that was a heck of a race for him. Definitely putting in work. The LMP3 is still going at it.
Oh my goodness, these two,
Vincent,
I think, will be on through the end of this race. Will be these two duking it out. Vincent Leroux, Jaden Ledbetter, and traffic. John Newman.
Run.
Staying out of the way.
Wait, they passed him there last time as well.
Chris
I just want everyone to know that every time they pass John Newman and he lives, it's like a miracle.
Yeah, it clenches a little bit.
Yeah.
Anthony Hutchinson also dialing in on Brandon Botts for P6.
Hats off to these guys for really putting in the work.
Yeah.
Even having like less than desirable outcomes in their race, but just like keeping their heads down.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a big deal. That shows you're in it. That shows you're in it for the competition. You're in it for the whoa. That was a bit of a jump scare.
Sorry.
From Jack. I seriously thought I was going to witness a death.
White flag for Jack this time by?
For Jack this time by, it is not showing.
Okay.
Right now. I am watching though.
Okay. Because we are.
And Jack, you have to survive. You have to make it. Like if it like this could go bad. I'm just saying.
Yes, that is correct, Chris. That Vincent ran out of fuel, had to tow. He ran out of fuel in pit lane, to be fair, but has had a more successful race with less incidents outside of that fuel incident. That was like his only damning incident. And everyone else has either had a spin or a penalty of some kind, such as a stop and go. Vincent also catching up to Scott Fleming. But this is a checkered flag.
Right. It is checkered flag flying right now.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Jack Wilkins taking the win.
Oh, we almost said that.
I'm going to tune back in to these three.
We are doing just a fine job. This is such a good broadcast. We know exactly what we're doing.
Checkered flag for them. We're going to watch this battle here for P2 and P3 in LMP3. Ethan Hamlet
was off.
Is Scott like short fueled or something?
I don't know.
Like,
it's
what's
possible.
happening? How is he catching him this fast?
Half a second now between these two as Scott Fleming desperately tries to hold on to P2 in LMP3. It's got to be a run down to the start-finish stretch. Vincent Leroux really closing in on him, but it is not going to be enough.
That was wild.
2 and 3,
okay.
and fourth for Jaden Ledbetter. Your podium for GT3 involving Ethan Hamlet, Retro Coffin, Austin Green. Your podium for GT4 Pro. That is a Matt Pyle in the wall on the exit of the final corner.
Oh no.
And he gets that car going the right direction, doesn't have too much of damage, but what was a close finish for the overall, it becomes a much larger one as he comes home P2. Corey Lobner behind them will come home P3 and round out that podium. Eduardo Zamora, William Lewis round out P2 and P3 of the podium. Christopher Blue will end up a lap ahead of both of them and just now takes the checkered flag. Let's see this crash for Matt Pyle real quick because I was super curious what happened here at the end for these two for this driver. It looks like he just, I think, got too much on the gas too soon and spun it. Actually, didn't even hit the wall. Excuse me. And just pulled it forward to try to get out of the way. That's where I arrived on scene and thought he had backed it out of the wall. So
That was crazy. Man, the attrition though.
Yeah.
Look at how many in GTAM did not finish this race. That's wild.
Yeah.
Chris is just gonna do the. For a moment there, I was like, he's gonna cut the donut. I believe in you, Chris. You can do it.
I think get it all
turn
set up to burn it down.
Turn directional.
There he goes.
There you go.
GT4.
Doing the supercar burnout. Appreciate that. But yes. And there's Jack. Jack getting a win.
Yeah.
Good for Jack.
Win for Jack in the feature. Where is my feature results? I don't see them. Root of it. There they are. All right. Let's run through these pretty as quick as we can. Jack Wilkins takes home the win, a whole minute ahead of Scott Fleming, who narrowly squeaks out P2 ahead of Vincent LaRue in P3. Jane Ledbetter in fourth, a couple seconds behind, and Mark Coyne is going to be in fifth, your top five people there. Gian Cardoso and Benjamin O'Shea are your, along with Christian Julian, are your 8 drivers that took to the checker flag, as well as Matt Hugh and Adam J. Duff, who both did not finish for various reasons. Phil, GT3, how's that looking?
Here we go. Ethan Hamlet. You guys are going to be stunned. He won.
Shocked. Absolutely shocked.
Yep. First place, Ethan Hamlet, 30 seconds ahead of Retro Coffin, though, so kept it within a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Aces. Retro Coffin in second, Austin Green in third. Tommy Cogan comes in fourth place with Kerry Nolan in fifth, Brandon Potts in sixth, Anthony Hutchins in seventh with Anthony Newman eighth, John Sullivan ninth, and Bruno Clement. Early accident. We didn't see him after the first half of this race.
Yeah.
GT3 field.
GT4 Pro, Logan.
All right, we got Tyler Torville and winning it. Matt Pyle coming in second. Corey Lobner in third with an impressive run. Lee Wu did not make the fuel strap work. Finished in fourth. Schiffner is fifth. Stephen Wallace is sixth. Ryan Buchanan seventh. And Henry Garcia, who wasn't even here, finished eighth.
Yeah, Ryan Buchanan and Henry Garcia did not take to the grid or the checkered flag. Stephen Wallace also bowed out after that drive-through penalty, or the speeding penalty, I believe, led to a 40-second stop and hold.
Yeah.
Right.
And last but certainly not least, our GT4M, Christopher Blue coming on that win. Theoretically a whole lap ahead. It was closer to more like, I believe, 20 or so seconds ahead of Eduardo Zamora. William Lewis trying to chase down Eduardo Zamora prior to a pit stop, requiring him to be a little bit further back. David Schneider finishing 2 laps down. John Newman another lap behind that. Jamison Leckenby. I almost said Leckenbecky. Didn't do it. Jamison Leckenby. Todd Torville. Mark Robeson. Jamison Leckenby and Todd Torville did not take to the checkered flag. And then Mark Robeson was one of our 3 drivers that did not start with the field this evening. So, with that, we come to the end of the race. Final thoughts, gentlemen.
The
That was
battles,
just a good race. Yeah.
The battles we saw were pretty intense all race long. Whether it be LMP3s with Ledbetter and LaRue, or Potts and Hutchison, or Torville and Stephen Wallace. It was just all good races all race long.
Yeah. There's a lot to go around, a lot to watch, and I think it's going to be really awesome when people get to watch the replay back on YouTube. So you guys definitely should go check that out. It's gonna be a pretty awesome video, I think. And then Navarra, man, I'm really looking forward to watching that on stream. So super stoked about that.
Fantastic stuff. I echo all of your sentiments. I don't think I have a whole ton to add that isn't something that has already been said by y'all. I think either way, it'll be fantastic racing. I hope to see as many drivers as we did tonight on the grid for next week at Navarra. Now back to a much more reasonable length instead of 2 hours of feature race, so we're not feeling like we have been drinking all evening from 2 hours of broadcasting. But
it's still fun. Still a lot of fun. For real.
It's going to be fantastic to see where everyone shows up into round number 5 and how the championship standings shake out. And we'll have to see. Our longest race season, the longest race of the season is done as of tonight. Every race beyond this will be shorter. So
yeah. Should I get the raid fired up?
Yes, let's get the raid fired up and I'll give them a quick plug. If you guys want to be a part of this and you enjoyed watching us drive or watching everybody else drive and us commentate for the past 2 hours, you can check us out on Discord or at Track Limits Racing, wherever you get your social medias, as well as on SimGrid and a few other places. Easiest way to get in touch with us and join in on the action is to join us on Discord. I believe we're back to a wait list of drivers who want to join in. Usually we have people come and go, though, so if that sounds like interest to you and you want to drive for not quite 2 hours, but 70 minutes, along with 20 minutes of heat. So it's 90 minutes. It's not really that much longer or shorter than our feature race on most weeknights, but the difference is it's 70 minutes of racing for the feature, not 120. And we'll see all of you next week. We have a back-to-back doubleheader with Navarra next week, and then we're off for a couple. And we'll see you all for 2 more races after Navarra to round out, 3 more races after Navarra, to round out the season.
Yep.
I feel like we're after the halfway mark already, and this is the halfway mark. Technically, we just had our summer break prior to it. So,
Good
raid,
stuff, man.
Who are we raiding tonight?
We're good to go. We're going to booth 403. If you know him, you know him. He's an old hand at iRacing, but enjoy it, guys. See you later.
Fantastic. Have a good night, everyone.